Zamal from Berber, the Prince of Persia. A stench of murder, the war observer. Saw him lynch or hurt her. Blood rinsed from a lurker. Took a miss when he heard her. Her neck in his grip, then he jerked her. Whispered pagan prayers, then let her go down the stairs. Curtains blew everywhere. He hurried through the night air. Lights flared from the watchtower. Search team with rock wallers. Kings that got power. From queens that drop flowers. Screams grew a lot louder. He schemes as the fox prowler. Caught him on the trail. Lift the veil, tried to impale. It didn't go well, they both fell. Grabbed his coattail as the moon swelled in the open sky. The ocean in his eyes saw blue whales. From mountain high, the falcon glide above the island tribes. Caught smiling at his finger prize from off his claw. He fell to his own demise. For all his losses, hell has thrones inside. His flesh and bones collected by the tides. Sand wet with foam, bubbles till it dry. The morning comes, the skies lit with the sun. Hits the earth kingdom, full 360 is spun. Prince amongst the living ones, children will run. Sit down and listen stunned how his mission was won. He said the night before I had dreams of being betrayed by the God. They consulted on a plan, I prayed on it hard. By day I cannot rest, by night there is no peace. I spoke to nobles, the wise men, and the holy priests. They told me it was grief, showed me to my sleep. I slowly went in deep, there I fought on beasts. Awakened with torn sheets, wrestled with devils and leveled his armies. The calm meek was breathed, too tense to speak. I turned the other cheek after I murdered his elite. I'm the Canaanite king with Babylonian wing. My battle's holy supreme. Arrows are loaded on your team. As I swing the axe, all our kings are black. I'm the murderer and Merkaba. All bow and worship us. No book can interpret us. We're before night. We are pure light. We absorb sight. We the tallest height. We are called the bright. For social culture, as the day falls to its closure, like a retrograde turning off its motor. And the earth's shadow is in full exposure. 200,000 rays of light, slightly beige white, silvery dark grays overtake the third boulder. The land of kings and gods and the heavens are now lowered. Talk to him, priest. For a fortress, they ride on horses and kill with soldiers. The greed of man, the seed of damn, for we are the I am. Back when Africa was a tropical rainforest, the Tyrannosaurus, the planet's purest, went from combat with hands to swordmen, the cannons for warring. Check the canyons for drawings, spamming major land of porous, unknown forces. The first books was just talking, and man found a way to record it. In ancient Samaria, they found records of schools and mortgage, tools they used for schools and soaring. Back when the natives first saw New Orleans. In a white coat, I emerged from out of a blizzard, words are mystic. You disturb the true and living, the king and new of the village. My flow is carried by spirits and pulled from white bulls from heaven and lift by griffins. You all bear witness to my winters as I play the white grand piano in the snow with candle. I press the keys, you see the death angel on ski and goggles. Younger I was killer cardinal, the eagle owl, bring rats back to my hollow. There's none above me. I've been ruler since Anubis was a puppy, and Hado Man was in a tree just a monkey, and Solomon stood before me just a dummy. Told Pharaoh to his face, y'all as good as mummies. I turned the Arctic and Gothic, went to Nebula in a rocket, dropped treasures from the cockpit. Return of the prophet and burnt orange garments, with pupils the shape of almonds. Bow and pay homage. Owls stay dormant till the day is dawning. Long wings and silence. Balance. My stance is 60, triangular. My room is circular, that's a Merkaba. Move timetables like furniture. Mathematics, add and subtract like burglars. Multiply, no divide, division is religion. I vocalize, most collide cause they superstitious. Horseshoes and crucifixes. Just being thoughtful, Jehovah Witness. Knives from the kitchen, the most savage lyrics lit. Envision, tablets, slackish on broken mirrors.
Make the summer snow just to prove and show all the above is caused by the Son of Man flow. We make the summer snow just to prove and show all the above is caused by the Son of Man flow.
Yeah. Yeah. She said she don't like that old shit, she wanna hear some new shit. The game that these lanes be running so stupid, juvenile and foolish, she long for a change. Yeah, that would be refreshing for her brain. Her ears are deaf to all the nonsense, she wanna hear some progress. It's too easy for her, you gotta make it complex. Provoke her thoughts, take her to another level. Engage her intelligence, make her feel special. She a fan of rap music, she love the way I do it. She said she missed me while I was gone. These other dudes been dropping fast food shit, microwave songs. It's time for something different, something prepared with love. People say she too bougie, finicky, choosy, but she a Pisces, indecisive when she do things. She wanna make sure she make the right choice. Well, baby girl, you smart as hell if you can hear my voice. Yeah. Lil' homie said, music ain't the same. He said it's not the business, the artists are to blame. He only listen to Eazy-E and Too Short, cause these new fools too flashy, too much flaws, too much conceit, not enough consistency, too much beefing instead of making hits. They all take their fans for granted, they unappreciative of their God-given talent. He said he liked the rappers better when they broke, cause when they get that money they lose touch with the folks. Back up in the hood that made them famous from the Getty up. Forgot about the Getty, yo, that's why you keep getting stuck. That's why the first joint is always sold out and now they can't give away albums. He only 14 but Lil' Shorty know his shit, he do his homework. I value your point of view, kid.
Yeah, welcome to The Machine Lies, where we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine that lies. I'm sorry, I still got too many tabs open, on the computer, so I'm sorry for the skipping and all that stuff. We're gonna have to clear that up. I mean, but yeah, you know what I mean? It's a different music every show, so, we try to keep it fresh, with the playlist out here. I mean, but yeah, blessings to the people out here. I greatly appreciate your time. Let me talk to some of the people in the chat here. You tell me. Blessings, brother. How you doing today, man? Yeah. What's today or tomorrow? The stream? No, we out here today. Yeah, blessings. Yeah, exactly. Like a monkey pissing on YouTube, I think. It's like what it is. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, exactly. Flames. I mean, we got the chat out here. We got open panel. Blessings to all the people. No particular direction I'm going in today. I got, my man, Unseen Warfare blessed me with a hype article. I'm going to go ahead and read that. It's real, scintillating. To the different themes I've been laying across, right? It connects Hegel with the theology of national restoration of the Jews, right? But also with the Hermetic ideas, right? With the ideas of alchemy, right? And magic, right? So yeah, we're gonna get into some interesting stuff. Let me sort of make this way so I stop maybe disappearing as much, right? Just get that right. In the dark there. Blessings to all the people. Right? But yeah, so yeah, who else we got out here? We got Shift Happens out here. Blessings. Peace be with you. I greatly appreciate your time. We got Calix out here. Thank you for being out here with us, man. Yeah, exactly. We back out here crazy with them gems. Yeah, man, blessings, man. Sorry for the skipping. It's because I got too many tabs open on the computer, or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna smooth out the kinks even for tomorrow's stream. Every live stream is kind of like a test stream. But yeah, if you go to some of my first streams when I start talking about the monoculture, right? I literally laid down some of the very same points. So I've been on a very similar thought train, right? Even since some of the first live streams. right? Where we've been talking about cultural techniques and how they relate to mechanical techniques, right? And of course, I've repeated many times this idea about it's technique that integrated the machine into human society, right? So this is a great quote by Ellul, right? And this other quote by Ellul that liberalism gave birth to its executioner, right? So as we're looking at technology, we're looking at liberalism that sort of spawned the technological system, right? So we got many haters here on the Machine Lives. We're not going to be talking about them today. We got a stream coming up on Friday, right? Cuck Rakers, right? We'll address all of the haters. I mean, right? So tune in then if you guys are looking for that. But right now, we're going to continue on our sort of philosophical trek, right? So the people that are really here, right, to listen to what I have to say and not for the personality politics of the internet sphere, please stick around. You might have some interesting reflections with the material, and all are welcome. We're not looking for anybody in particular, right? Even the haters, right? You guys are all welcome to come to the discussion, right? But these ideas about techno-liberalism, right? Obviously, we're looking at Atlantis versus Shambhala, right? And, those two on the spectrum, right? One is about, creating technology that merges with the earth, and the other is about transcending man, through nature. So we've condensed it into two main areas, right? And actually, Buddha hit me with this interesting idea, right? That it's either about merging into a hive mind or creating your own virtual realities, right? Breakaway, virtual realities, right? So the sort of idea for the Atlantis is sort of this idea of, or really of transhumanism, right? Is really about going beyond, nature and combining with this cosmic force, right? And of course, this idea of cosmos or the natural laws, right, really came from Pythagoras, as we were seeing, right? So once you create, you find out the laws of nature, it creates a sort of source code that you could sort of hack into and sort of create whatever you want, right, from nature, right? So the idea was about transforming nature, right, either through assimilation into the cosmic web, right, in terms of, the techno-Gaianism, right, merging with the earth through technology, right, or transhumanism, right, going beyond the human and subsequently nature through the use of technology, right? So as one has a sort of voyeuristic mode, right, the other has a sort of escapist model, right, in terms of one is about, well, there's two groups of people in the world, right? Let's put it this way, right? There's sort of the watchers and the doers, right? There's either people who are actively participating in, like the various spy networks and the power games that are going on, right? Or and then there's the useful idiots, right? The people who sort of watch, right? And it seems like the watchers want to be free to watch and disengage with whatever they want, right? They want to remain in this detached mode, right? Foggy somatic detachment, right? And the doers, they want to do things. They want to correspond with the way things are, right? But they have to do it by already established methods, right? So they're sort of forced, to do in certain, methods. So you have this battle between the sort of transhumanists and the techno-Gaianists, right? Okay, the accelerationists and the Discordians, right? Right, or the people that want to, use what's going on now in order to bring the system to its logical conclusion, right? That's accelerationism. Discordianism is to upset the framework of what's going on to sort of slow down, right? So the goal in Discordianism is culture jamming or slowing things down, right? So as we move to a sort of a dialectic where nature goes beyond time, right, because of the notion of progress, right? We have the notion of becoming taking over the notion of being, right, because of this notion of progress, right? Okay, we have all of the magic is sort of time magic, right? Sort of, either trying to speed up or slow down this acceleration, right? Okay, we got a friend here. Blessings, sir. How you doing, Red?
Yo,
Yo.
I'm good.
Yeah, blessings. Yeah, it's good to have you here. Yeah, Gregor, blessings. Made in LARP's image, blessings. Art Zenter, I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Crystal Shaman, of course. Blessings. Yeah, thank you, Lord, man. Yeah, Gregor, man. Blessings, bro. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, so yeah, let's get up on this idea here, right, of this great dialectic that's going on, right, between nature and time, really, right, are the two sides of the coin, right? Nature being the state, being the state of being, right, with a capital B, right? And then time, which is obviously becoming, right? So you have this battle between being and becoming, right, from the beginning of history, right? And you have various people sort of asking which one comes first, right? Is it becoming that created being, or is it being that created becoming, right? So this was the battle, right, between the theologians and the philosophers, really, right? Okay, and the poets in Athens, right? They were the same thing as a religion, right? The poets like Homer, so the artists were also the co-religionists, right? So it's very important to note that the prophetic visions of the poets constituted their religion, right? So religion and art were merged in such a way, right? And philosophy and science sort of wanted to cleave apart this merger, right? So they started by attacking the metaphysical framework of the religious people, right? Starting with Heraclitus, right? He said Homer should be flogged, right, for making up stuff about how the universe works, right? He didn't believe that these gods were like fighting each other up in some different world, right? He said that's silly. He said if there was gods and they were all powerful, why the fuck would they be fighting each other? That's retarded, right? Right? Could you imagine all powerful beings like disagreeing? And no. First of all, there wouldn't be tons of them. There would only be one single force, right? And it would be intelligent beyond nature, which is always in a state of becoming, right? It would be moving and coursing through all of nature, right? He said that's what reason says, right? What these people come up with is just a bunch of crazy talk, right? So this was the first challenge that the philosophers gave against art and religion, right? When Socrates went to the poets, he said, "Can you explain how you derived your visions?" Right, and they said, because he denoted that their visions contained truths, right? So he wanted to know how they arrived at those truths, and they said, "We got them by inspiration, purely by inspiration from God." Right? He said, so you have no idea how you got these visions. Right? So he said that although the poets repeat many true things, since they couldn't provide proof of how they attained these truths, right, their visions were useless. Right? And besides, Plato had said that art is just an imitation of reality. Right? An imitation of an imitation, because reality is just an imitation of the forms. right? So they said the first thing you should doubt is your senses, right? Okay, and that's because you could hold a coin up to the sky, right, and it looks like the size of the sun, right, and you notice that your senses can lie to you, right? Well, what about the visions we receive in dreams? They're perfectly rational, right? You could create a perfectly rational world, right, where everything works, but nothing makes sense, like Alice in Wonderland, right? So this is the thing: is that, logic can be used to make things that are useless, ultimately, right? And so we have the idea of the valuation of knowledge, right? There should be something beyond knowledge to evaluate it, right? Right? Just as the things in your dreams appear to be perfectly real, but your reason tells you that they're not, maybe there's a judge higher than reason that could judge reason the way that reason judges the senses, right? Okay, it's a possibility, right? Okay, so we're looking for, what the different thinkers throughout history came up with. And, of course, we're lamenting the fact that religion and art was torn away from this figure, right? The shaman or the poet, right? And placed into the hands of the philosophers and the scientists, right? Because they don't represent the ethne logos, right, of the cultural techniques. They represent techne logos, right? Or the universal mechanical techniques,
Yep.
right? So this is the problem, right? That they handed the cultural techniques into the hands of the universalists, right? Universalism is primary to things like globalism and liberalism. I've explained that dozens of times on the show. Right, but how did we denote these ideas, right, from the religious framework? Right, well, it's very simple, right? Some of the religious ideas taught man was universal beyond nature and he could become like God through the use of his reason, and that God was separate from nature, and so God had to enter into the realm of becoming or time, and that this was a sign of man's becoming God. I could repeat that all, but what's the point? Rewind the tape. Right, I've explained it hundreds of times, right? But yeah, it's wild. We have people like Peter Thiel repeating this sort of formula, right, as a link between Christianity and transhumanism, right? The apotheosis of the state, the collective unconsciousness, represented in the collective spirit, right, representing Christ consciousness, right? Well, we had different figures in history who espoused this belief system, right? Believe it or not, right? Especially during the 1800s, you had several movements, like the World Zionist Congress, right? Where one of the leaders of the World Zionist Congress declared that the whole world will be federated states of Israel, where the Supreme Court of all the judges of mankind will decide world political affairs. Right?
What a disaster.
This was the line in 1935, I believe, in Look magazine by David Ben-Gurion, who would later become the prime minister of Israel. These pseudo-eschatological expectations, right, just like Marx had about the dialectical materialism, replacing the spirit of world history in Hegel and creating the utopian world system. Right? He had this notion that the poor would take over the rich, the workers would take over the means of production, and the cycle would be repeated ad infinitum until the workers become more and more free, and the people and the work, and they own their own labor and all this. Yeah, so he thought that this cycle would repeat until it led into a utopian framework, right? The establishment of the kingdom of God on earth, just like the League of the Just had in their mission statement. Right, well, it's no different from the mission statement of the Lindisfarne Institute, right? Where you got Gaia theory and the Esalen Institute and Elaine Pagels and all these people coming out. But what do they want? Oh, the planetization of the esoteric. They want to combine Christianity and technology, futurism, right? So they're using Teilhard de Chardin, right, to say that we're going to recreate man in God's image through technology. Right? This is why Elaine Pagels wrote the book, The Gnostic Gospels. This is why James Lovelock created the Gaia theory. This is why Michael Murphy created the Esalen Institute. And you motherfuckers thought you knew what was going on in the world, right? This is just a sample, right, of some of those things I've covered, right? All right, let's get into Marx and his influence from Hegel and Hegel's notion of the apotheosis of the state and the coming of the spirit of world history, right? That was going to lead to a world system. Or Blavatsky's idea of Christ consciousness awaking in the collective unconscious of mankind. Right? All these pseudo-eschatological notions of progress, whether they be Zionism or Theosophy or Marxism or any of these notions that were created in the 1800s, or even Darwinism. Right? Look at Darwin's notion that was followed by his ancestors that were basically inbred. Right, because they thought, well, we got to preserve our genes. Right, so the best way to do that is to marry our own family. Right, so the Huxleys were created. Right, and Julian Huxley, the founder of UNESCO, talked about how the gap between baboons and humans would increase because of the Peking man, the Piltdown Man hoax that was actually perpetuated by Teilhard de Chardin, who was a proponent of the singularity, right? They wanted to bring about the singularity, right?
Sheesh.
Which is really the awakening of the collective unconsciousness, right? Through the technological scope, right? Anyways. Right. So all of these notions, right, that are coming about in the 1800s, okay, they are a long deliberation of ideas, right? Especially, you could just look at Teilhard de Chardin, right? How are you going to have Teilhard de Chardin without Hegel, right? St. Thomas Aquinas, and Aristotle, right? So we've carefully traced the philosophy of these three men, right? Okay, and in Skolimowski, we came to the conclusion, right, that some very interesting ideas had taken place, right? Right, Aristotle's compartmentalization of knowledge, right? His notion that knowledge should be separate, right, from beauty or goodness, right? He said logic is its own system, ethics is its own system, right? And this sort of compartmentalization of knowledge, right, also had to do with the Cartesian separation of man from nature, right? Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. Right? So he said thoughts and existence are like the same thing, right? This is all we could prove. It led to things like correspondence theory. It was based on this notion of dualism. It led to things like empiricism, right? But these three systems in the 16th century, right? That were invented, namely empiricism, rationalism, and idealism. Okay, empiricism means that we can find out what's going on in the world through our senses. The stuff we see through our senses is imprinted on an empty space inside of our mind. This is fictional. Nobody can prove that this is the case. From what we have uncovered so far, it seems completely false notion, empiricism. The second notion of rationalism is that these rational objects exist, this math and shit, outside of our head, and we somehow perceive the world through these already preset barriers, right? Which are rational or mental. Again, a retarded concept based on dualism. The final one is idealism. That one's actually kind of nice. Okay, right? That one actually kind of works. That was actually cool. All right, but still, the notion that everything is all just, abstract. The abstract entities rule over physical objects. That notion's completely false. But the mind is definitely more powerful than material. But this works on a level, not on the level of our thoughts. That's stupefyingly simple. Right? But mind itself is part of the fabric of reality. That's what these idiots did not get. Man-hating feminism is toxic as fuck. Can't stand them dumb bitches. Yeah. I don't hate feminism, but I will talk about how the ideology is linked to the Industrial Revolution, right? Communism, right? Materialism, all these things, right? It's a modern ideology, right? Okay, it's a modern ideology, right? Just like a lot of the ones I described, right? But yeah, no, I don't hate anybody. But I appreciate you. Lollipop B. Let's put this comment up. Yeah, cool. All right. B Arches. Yeah, it's funny, man. But yeah, so let's try to uncover some of this, right? I got a banger article that actually Unseen sent me, as I said, right? So we'll try to read through some of this and uncover some of the material, and then I'll move to maybe Hegel and the Hermetic tradition and some other writings, right? I wonder actually where I put my text here, you know? We'll have to rediscover where we put these things, you know? But yeah, blessings to all the people, you know? Yeah, we'll get up into it. But yeah, I don't want to look too stupid while I do that. But yeah, and we will play some music. I haven't actually made a music video for today, but we'll sort of improvise. We'll sort of improvise. Yeah, blessings, neutral ground. I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you very much. Yeah. Jake, blessings to you, man. So yeah, let's get into it. I thought this article really summarizes rather well a lot of the things that I've been sort of peddling out here. So let's get into it. Oh shit. Is this gonna open? Oh yeah, here we go. All right, it says with Alex Jones compromising Jewish connections now thoroughly documented, it's not surprising to learn that Alex Jones consistently advocates specifically Masonic concepts to his listeners. It says Jones' entire defense against the New World Order is based on the United States Constitution and the spirit of founding fathers like Thomas Jefferson and the so-called patriots like Paul Revere, both of whom were probable Freemasons, both fighting with each other within the purview of the Jewish Kabbalist Hegelian dialectic. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Right, which it correctly outlines as alchemical magic. Right? So it says Jones apparently has no qualms about boldly declaring repeatedly on his daily show and in his documentaries that the answer to 1984 is 1776. I guess he sees no correlation between the Masonic founding of the United States of America and the founding of the Jewish Masonic Order of the Illuminati in Bavaria the same year. Perhaps it is a deceptive NLP technique of cryptically uplifting the date as it pertains to the Illuminati and their Enlightenment cult, which paved the way for liberty, fraternity, and equality in the New World. So liberty, fraternity, equality, right? That is the credo of sort of the French Revolution, right? So we know that Hegel actually participated in the French Revolution, right? Thomas Paine, who was sort of way more secular than some of the other founding fathers, right? He sort of said that the United States Constitutional Convention was sort of not radical enough, right? So he went to go to France, right, to support the French Revolution, right? So you have Hegel and Thomas Paine and these guys, they're really interested in the French Revolution, right? And obviously Robespierre was sort of like a Freemason just as much as the guys like Benjamin Franklin, right? Franklin, in the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, right, where he's got like the letters, right? He actually writes a letter to his parents explaining how like he like joined the Freemasons. Like he tells like his parents like not to be like worried about him or whatever, right? So yeah, it's interesting, right? So there is some proof that some of the founding fathers were into Freemasonry, right? Right. So and obviously the Hegelian dialectic, right? We went over a lot how the Hegelian dialectic is sort of Kabbalistic. Right? It sort of got a lot from the Kabbalah in Hegel's dialectic, right? But it's mostly from Hermeticism. Right? It's sort of this idea about God creating the world in order to know himself. Right? So this process, right, of God attaining this knowledge, right, of his own creation is sort of the Hegelian dialectic itself, him becoming part of his own creation. Synthesized is a word, right? So we know that this is actually a process that happens on a universal scope, right? Okay, I found my Hegel in the Hermetic tradition. So if we need to like cut and run from this article, we can. Right. All right. But I think this article is pretty funny so far. This is pretty funny. How it like went through like Alex Jones and then Hegel and then the French Revolution and the Illuminati. And then it says the Judeo-Masonic roots of the U.S. founding fathers and the Constitution. Excellent. It says Freemasonry hatched in the British Empire following the Enlightenment Rosicrucian revolutionary overthrow of the Catholic Church in England. Right, as a proxy arm of the international Jewish conspiracy against Christ and his saints. Throughout the centuries, the Jewish conspiracies have struggled to refrain from publicly gloating of their engineering of the proxy movement. So here's what it says. The Jews have entirely created Masonry to corrupt the nations of Christian civilization and to propagate behind this veil the general revolution, which is to bring about the domination of Israel. It is simply a tool and a means in the hands of Jays. In support of this, we can quote the article of Dr. Isaac M. Wise, published in the Israelite America, 3 August 1866. Masonry is a Jayish institution whose history, degrees, charges, passwords, and explanations are Jayish from the beginning to the end. Here, hold on, let me go to this. Wait. Here, hold on. Okay, it says that's from the secret powers behind revolution, Freemasonry, and Judaism, 1996, by Vicomte Leon de Ponsens. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get the reference for that quote, right? You know, what it do. You know, who they is. You know.
Who they is.
Who they is. Who they is. Anyways, who they is. Who? Yeah, we need to start making like little bird calls and shit. You know? Who they is. But yeah. Then I just lost like 3 viewers. Appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, so it says this conspiracy to corrupt the nations, quote unquote, was executed under the cover of the Enlightenment, quote unquote. Progress and freedom. Progress and freedom. Interesting, man. Because the progress and freedom is really the 2 terms that Hegel used, right? Right, in Reason and History, he literally says it's the progress represents freedom. Right, let me actually, you know what? You know what, man? Let me find this quote for you guys. I want to find this quote. I'll find this quote for you guys. Yeah, I'll find this quote for you guys, man. Oh, I found it. It says, freedom first arose among the Greeks, and therefore they were free. But they and the Romans likewise only knew that some are free, not man as such. ... He says, this not even Plato and Aristotle knew. So look how he holds Plato and Aristotle in higher regard than the Greek people as a whole. Right, and he said that even they knew that only some men can master the art of freedom. Right, this is Hegel in Reason and History. Then he says, only the Germanic peoples came through Christianity to realize that man is free and that freedom of spirit is the very essence of man's nature. I'll repeat that. He says only the Germanic peoples came through Christianity. I think he's talking about the Protestant Reformation. To realize that man is free and that freedom of spirit is the very essence of man's nature. This realization first arose in religion, in the innermost region of spirit, but to introduce it in the secular world was a further task which could only be solved and fulfilled by a long and severe effort of civilization. So look what's progressing. It's freedom that's progressing throughout history. What is reason causing to progress throughout history? It's freedom. Freedom. And I know we've lost lots of people. We lost lots of people by me reading that article because they're like, this is all about the change. You guys are so programmed. You're so programmed to not listen to anything that disagrees with your worldview. Don't talk about anything they don't want you to talk about. Don't listen to anything that disagrees. God, you people are so fucked. You can't think for yourself. Even though I'm proving all of it. You can't listen. You can't look up the references. Blessings, Sophia. I'm not talking about you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Sophia's she's a real one. I don't know about some of you other ones though, but Sophia's a real one. Yeah, Avian Buddha's out here. Blessings. Avian Buddha's got a hankering for the truth. Real.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yeah. So let's see what else they got out here in this article, and then I'll move to Hegel and the Hermetic tradition. Yeah, liberty, fraternity, equality. I don't know if any of those things are good. Other than fraternity, fraternity's the best one out of the three. I gotta say, liberty, fraternity, equality. Liberty to do whatever you want, that could be destructive. People who can't control themselves, can't control their desires, giving them freedom is to lead them to their destruction. So liberty is double-edged sword, if anything. Fraternity, yeah, there's fraternity among thieves. But I guess it's good as anything else. Equality? Equality doesn't exist. It's a farce. It's farcical. Equality, to believe in equality is to make things unequal. You don't realize that people are different, so you try to force things.
Yeah, square peg, round hole kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it's efficient, all right, but it's inhumane. So that's where equality has got us, right? So liberty, fraternity, equality. I mean, and they said it was shouted as from the rooftops as revolutionaries raped, pillaged, and murdered their way through France. That's actually a fact. They did some crazy things. But they did some weird things. Like they did, I think the French Revolution and the Bolshevik Revolution, if you look at some of the grotesque forms of violence they employed, it's literally beyond barbaric. You're talking about people standing ankle deep in a pool of blood in an executioner's room, and they're bringing in new bodies.
Don't forget about Mao's communist revolution too.
Oh yeah, that was a bloodbath
Yeah.
of highest proportion. Right? Like it's like, and actually they were all like, it was just a bunch of warlords taking over China, and Mao just happened to be the toughest fucking one. It's literally brutal. All right, the brutality is off the scales. Right, so some of this revolutionary violence, the secular arm of violence, scientific, socialism, and scientific totalitarianism, I mean, it's been very brutal. It's been some of the most grotesque. And I'm talking about more people have died in these wars than any other war in all of history. You're talking about like 300 years war, 500 years war, like somebody stole some guy's horse and shit. And like 5 people got murdered for it. Like, dude, you're talking about real wars that happened like that in the past. But like these wars where millions and millions and millions of people come and they come to the mountain and they think it's like snow on the mountain and it's human skulls and bones piled up. Yeah.
That's what happens when you have the apotheosis of the state.
Yeah. Yeah, it's some heavy metal. Metallic skull, 666 beast, energy there. Right?
Heavy metal shell casings.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the Bolsheviks just easily just killed like 8 million people. And they're just like, all right. Just like kill a bunch of farmers. They said, and there was at least according to Solzhenitsyn, there's a lot of Jays. What's that guy, Yagoda? That did the Holodomor massacre? General Yagoda.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy's ever look that guy up. He looks a lot like somebody else.
Ruh-roh.
Let's let me actually show you guys this. Here's a picture of Genrick Yagoda. Remind you of anyone? Does he remind you of anyone there?
Sheesh.
Yeah. That's the guy who killed 8 million people in Ukraine, I believe, right? I mean, it's insane, and nobody ever talks about him. He got a clean bill in the history books. Wild how that works, doesn't it? It's incredible how that works, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, but go and do your LARP drama show. I'm going to put the boot on your neck one day. You guys ever seen that movie Children of Men?
Isn't that the movie where the woman becomes infertile, right? Like, except
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I only know about it 'cause there's a Cryptic Minds tune in there somewhere. I didn't
Oh, really?
watch the movie though.
Yeah, that movie's sick nasty. You guys want to watch a real movie? Watch that
Gerard
fucking
Butler, isn't it?
movie. No, it's Clive Owen.
Oh,
Yeah, he's kind of a dunce, but he's it's just a movie itself. It's killer, and yeah, there's an old man in that movie. That's like man, I forget the guy's name, man. But yeah, that guy's such a classic actor. The guy who like grows strawberry cough. Michael Caine. Oh yeah, Michael Caine is in the fucking movie, bro. That guy's a genius. You know. Classic. I don't watch that many movies, but yeah, man. Anyways, the apocalyptic imagery in that movie is just brilliant. They're like running through like wars happening, like people launching bombs and stuff. They're like running through buildings. It's very intense, very beautiful imagery in that movie.
there's a similar movie directed by Michael Haneke that I also recommend. That one. That one I can tell you the name, but I forgot the name, but I saw that one. If you want, I can try to. It's similar to what you just recommended. It's called what was that one called? Time of the Wolf. Yeah, Time of the Wolf. That one's similar to Children of the Men. Time of the Wolf. It's French. Time of the Wolf. You know, it's directed by Michael Haneke.
Nice.
It also deals with societal collapse and the city is all messed up and people are trying to fend on their own, stuff like that. I think Cormac McCarthy had a book about that too called The Road. I haven't read it. The Road. Pretty sure you heard of that one. The Road. Cormac McCarthy.
I don't believe I have. But yeah, let's get up in this music, and we'll get into Hegel and the Hermetic tradition. I think that'll be a good place to go next.
I'm
Lucas, so-
confused. Cryptic Minds wasn't on the soundtrack, but Code 9 Space Ape were.
Oh yeah, Code 9, bro.
Rest in peace, Space Ape.
Yeah, man, I forgot about that band. Real talk. But yeah, man. All right, so yeah, let's get up in this music. I didn't really prepare anything, so it'd just be like, I'll just play one of the songs I have here. You know, do I still have Flamingos by Eric Truffaz? Oh yeah, look like I do. So let's just listen to that. I'll play like this video in the background. Let me see if I could find this. A Mute Lullaby, it's called, by Parody Mass. This guy's got some great videos. I mean, so yeah, let's go into meditation mode with the machine live here, and we'll prepare to absorb some Hegel in the Hermetic tradition. I don't know how I just launched on. I had no idea what I was gonna say when I came up here, but I just talked for an hour. I don't know how I did that, right? So I mean, minus the 10-minute music intro or whatever, right? But yeah, I actually had some things that I wanted to get into, so let's actually focus on that next. But yeah, see, today's show's a little bit shorter, right? So that's just natural. That's just a natural progression of the shows, right? So we will have a longer show tomorrow, right? So if you have not imbibed some of these concepts, right, we'll launch into a greater explanation tomorrow, right? Obviously, hug all cats. Very good. Societal collapse, stuff mentioned, children of men, time of the wolf, the road by McCarthy. Yeah, thank you, man.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
appreciate
me.
it.
That's me.
Oh,
That's you?
Yeah,
oh,
that's
hug
me.
all cat. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you for that, Buddha.
I thought that was like a sock account or something.
Oh no, that's me.
Yeah, blessings. Yeah, time flies on the machine lies. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. All right. Okay, so let's get up into some flamingos, man. I mean, by Eric Truffas, man. This is such a beautiful one.
يا نسيم الورد خبر لي الرشاد يا نسيم الورد خبر لي الرشاد لم يزدني الورد إلا عطشا
What the fuck? Just kicked me out of the studio or whatever. Here, hold on. Let's try that again. Sorry, I
Take
want to
two.
listen to that. Yeah, I want to listen to that with you guys. I mean, I want to play that shit again. Oh, this shit's still playing though. Here, hold on. Let me start this over. All right, we about to blast off, folks. It is what it is. Blessings.
يا نسيم الورد خبر لي الرشاد يا نسيم الورد
Yeah, blessings.
That was a long tune.
Yeah, just like slow the video down. Yeah, I guess a lot of people appreciated that. Yeah, blessings. Yeah, maybe I'll record that. Right. Make it a video on the show. Could work. But yeah, here it goes. He's talking about this idea of
Uh,
self-actualization.
TML, your audio is kind of low.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too.
Really?
Yeah,
This
it's
whole
kind of low.
time?
No,
No, not
just
this whole time.
now and maybe a little bit
Just now.
before the music.
That's weird.
It's
How about
better.
now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it's because I like dropped out of the studio and came back in, like fucked up my audio
Yeah.
settings, some shit. So yeah, yeah, it's no worries. Yeah, let me actually check if I'm connected to the microphone or whatever. It might have. Yeah, I'm connected to the microphone. It's just like
Yep.
it's just being retarded for some reason. But yeah, Hermeticism is a positive gnosis as a word devoted to the world, right? Okay, so this idea about gaining knowledge as mastery over the world, right? Rather than getting the divine spark, right, which then connects you to the pleroma, right? So it's this whole different thing between Gnosticism and Hermeticism, as it were, right? Right. And he says to know everything is to, in some sense, have control over everything. Okay, interesting, right? Because God created the world in order to know himself, right? Maybe the control aspect through the knowledge is what was trying to be established, right? So there's order, right? Maybe that's why it's a sort of eschatological scheme of merging with this perfection, right? Through this coming to know, right? The two are all there is. What comes to be and what creates it. Remember that part of the Hermetic corpus, right? There's also the notion that to become to know God is to become like him, right? So there's this notion of becoming like a God, right? And there's many different notions like that, right? Okay, like is only understood by like, it says, right? And the God of Hermeticism is not really a jealous God, right? It's like a God that wants people to attain to his level, his or her level, right? Yeah, blessing Sam, I appreciate
Shit, son.
it. Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
I'd say that's a better one.
A better God, in your opinion?
Yeah. Than at least some of them anyway.
Yeah, I mean there is some traditions that sort of say like we're co-equal with God. That's sort of how Lilith, our friend Lilith frames things too, right? He says he's working.
He would say that.
Yeah. He says he's working with certain entities or beings. That he's not worshiping them or trying to belittle himself to them or whatever, right? So this is a little bit of the same concept, right? That was Smooth Groove DJ TML. Off subject here for fun on your own time. Maybe check out Trump's master performance as Elvis. That sounds funny, man. Is that where the name comes from? Trump, Elvis Trump. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, let's put that up for a second. This is a funny comment. Yeah, let's go to the next part of this that I've highlighted here. It's from Hermeticum 4. Hermeticum 4. Let's see what we got up there. It says, all those who heeded the proclamation and immersed themselves in mind participated in knowledge and became perfect. What? Or complete. And then it says a Greek word here that is like complete, but I don't know how to read that, right? Or complete, because people became perfect or complete people because they received mind. So let me read that all over again. It says, all those who heeded the proclamation and immersed themselves in mind participated in knowledge and became perfect people because they received mind.
Hmm.
So I believe there's a concept within Hermeticism of the universal mind. Right, so this concept is very prominent throughout Hermeticism, right? In Gnosticism, there's no such concept as a universal mind, right? It's sort of many different entities, right? Sort of, so there's sort of a inner battle going on, right? It's about the inner spark, right?
You mean Anima Mundi? Right?
Yeah, Anima Mundi. Yeah. Blessings. Yeah. I appreciate you, madam. Yeah, I appreciate you, madam. Yeah, blessings. And I appreciate Sam and and Solid. What's up, man? You know, yeah. We got a lot of people watching. I appreciate you guys, man. Okay, let's go up here. Yeah, Anima Mundi, exactly. I mean, but Anima Mundi, that might be the spirit of the world, or I mean, I think Anima might be spirit, whereas the Hermeticists, they denote more mind than spirit.
Yeah. I think that's more news.
Yeah, spirit is more the Gnostic thing, right? It's
Yeah.
spiritual, right? It's the spiritual essence. I mean, that's really they're concerned with. I mean,
No, Hermeticists do believe like Hermes just missed this. He does talk about Anima Mundi.
yeah.
But the
And it
news
might be like,
thing is more like cosmic.
yeah, it might be related to the notion of the archetypal man as well. I mean, so let's see what else we can get up in here. He says, but those who missed the point of proclamation are people of reason or speech, because they did not receive the gift of mind as well and do not know the purpose of, or the agents of their coming to I don't know what that is. Nous? Is that nous? Or mind, right? In other words, the men of complete self-understanding who know even the purpose or the agents of their coming to be are perfect human beings. Right? So it's like the process of attaining to mind, right, helps you attain to knowledge beyond reason, right? You know, and these men of complete understanding that attain this state, they're perfect, right? It says they're perfect beings, right? So in a sense, it's like becoming like God, right? So it says here, and this is a Glenn McGee now, in Hegel and the Hermetic tradition. He says, if Hegel did not believe that man could literally become God, he certainly believed that the wise man is demonic, right? Daemon, right? That's like a little g God, right? Daimon, right? Daemon, right? Not
Right,
demon.
which is not the same thing as demon.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, right? It's like
Daemons were actually demonized, so it's somewhat ironic.
Yeah, they're kind of like demigods or something like that. It would be like a daemon would be like, like a bridge between, like Socrates claimed he had a daemon, but he claimed that the daemon only told him what never he said the daemon never gave him positive affirmations.
Sad Trombone.
So the question is, was Socrates trolling? Right? Because that sounds pretty clever device, right? A sort of right up. You know. But yeah, he said a more than merely human participant in divine life, right? That's what a daemonic is, right? In Glenn McGee's definition, right? So, reading on here to the end of this thing here, it says, in the Corpus Hermeticum, we find a kind of bridge position between Egyptian occultism and the modern Hermeticism of Hegel and others. Instead of conceiving words as carrying literal occult power, words came to be seen as carrying a kind of existential empowerment. Now, this is where it gets really fucking weird and creepy, guys. This is going to be the main thrust of this sort of presentation here, right? Is the sort of magic of Hegel, right? Right? He gets into some fucking Mickey Mouse Fantasia shit at this point, right? Right, it says the ideal Hermetic theosophy becomes the formulation of a complete speech, quote unquote, teleus logos. Teleus. Right? We kind of learned of this word from our friend Lilith, right? Telestic. Right? Right? Teleus. Right? It means the end, right? Like tele, like telos, right? It is finished, right? It means it is finished, right? Or to end something, to come to an end, to come to a final conclusion, right? Right? Teleus logos, or perfect discourse. Perfect discourse, right? Which means, of course, circular discourse. Circular discourse, huh? Circular discourse. What is this? What is this in response to, man? So
The Daimon comment.
Oh, okay. Get him, get him, Tiger. Yeah, man. Yeah, blessings. Yeah, when acquired, the complete speech, which concerns the whole of reality, will radically transform and empower the empower. Excuse me, empower. You know, tomato. You know, the life of the enlightened one, right? Let me read that again. That was so butchered. When acquired, the complete speech which concerns the whole of reality will radically transform and empower the life of the enlightened one. So what do we have here? We have a formula in the Hermetic corpus about words transforming reality. Right? So it's pretty fascinating stuff, right? Fascinating stuff, right? And here's from Hegel's own damn journal. Right now, Eric Vogelin said that Hegel's phenomenology is a magical performance, right? Because Hegel literally declared that his realization of like this universal mind realizing itself was the movement of like the world spirit. Here, hold on. Right, he said this was a culmination of like the world spirit like coming to know itself through Hegel. Okay, so he had transformed reality with his words, right? He had accomplished this, right? Right. So we've read this many times, right? But here, I'll read it again, right? I'll read it again, right? I'll read it again. It says the endpoint of the dialectical process is mind coming to know itself as the ultimate reality, and thus as seeing everything that it took to be foreign and hostile to itself, in fact, part of itself. And that for Hegel is simultaneously a state of absolute knowledge when mind knows and recognizes at last itself as the ultimate reality, and also a state of absolute freedom when mind, instead of being controlled by external forces, is able to order the world in a rational way because now sees the world is, in fact, itself. Itself. Ooh, we're losing a lot of audience members. It's fascinating. Right, but yeah, there's only a little more of this quote. He says, and it only has to implement its own principle of rationality onto the world to organize the world rationally. Now, the interesting thing about this culminating process is that because it occurs once mind understands that it is the ultimate reality of everything, if you ask the question, when does this actually happen? Well, it happens when Hegel's own mind, in his philosophical writings and thoughts, grasps the idea that mind is everything. And that's from Peter Singer, right? So to quote Eric Vogelin again, he said, Hegel's phenomenology is a magical performance, right? It's the mind realizing itself, right, throughout world history, right? Right? It's the mind realizing itself throughout world history. Okay, so let me pick this back up again. Now let me read you this. Bomb quote. And I'm sorry for the people that left. You missed the fucking exciting conclusion, right? Right. So Hegel writes in a fragment preserved by Rosenkranz, right, his biographer, right, every individual is a blind link in the chain of absolute necessity. Okay, so that's nature. It's a blind chain of necessity, right?
Could that
Okay.
be related to chaos theory in a way?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, this idea of necessity that's actually borrowed from Avicenna,
Hmm.
right? Because he's talking about how it's like the mind ordering nature.
Hmm.
Right, so there it goes back to the concept of the universal mind, right? Because remember, in Aristotle, right, there's mind and nature, and mind orders nature through the void.
Doesn't Hinduism basically say that Brahma is dreaming this reality, so he would be, or Brahma would be the universal mind? Or am I
Yes,
getting that incorrect?
yes, but the creation would totally depend on his dreaming, right?
Right.
Like whereas in Hermeticism, God needs creation to know himself and to realize the knowledge.
Right. That idea.
Yeah, so
Not quite the same thing.
yeah, it's interesting.
If Hegel or Hermeticists, do you have anything to say regarding symbols? Like how symbols arise?
Yeah, that's kind of like what he's
You
talking
mean
about. He's
symbolic
saying-
reference?
Yeah. He's saying that words control reality. So words are beyond nature. That words are the sort of fruition of what mind actually represents. Right? So if you learn the words, you could change nature. Right? So it's like Marshall McLuhan on mushrooms, right? It's like not only is a medium the message, like it is the world, right? Like it's just like
Oh.
right? Like it's just like
Where the words exist.
yeah, and then you can go to those nutty thoughts of Wittgenstein. The limits of my language are the limits of my world, right? Right. And what did Krishnamurti say? He said the word is not the thing.
Mm.
Right. What did Korzybski say? Right, in his anti-Aristotelian tome, right? He said the map is not the territory. right? So
Right.
they're trying to distinguish themselves from this idea that words are the basis for reality, right? That it's language, right? Because sometimes they think it's math instead of language. So they're still caught up in their little game, right? So they're challenging it based on their own biases. So it's sad, right? But sometimes they've achieved, you know, a higher, gnosis, right?
You should be seeking this knowledge to expose evil. That's something Christians are supposed to do.
we don't seek knowledge. That's Gnosticism.
Many different things, and
Words to tell me whether or not the right fucking exists. Words to tell me how are you even using words to tell me whether or not the right fucking exists. Where do the words exist? Right? Like
So
they don't understand the basic philosophical underpinnings of what they're talking.
This is uniquely subjective.
Everything is uniquely subjective.
This is a new one I have. Where fucking Flowstein lights his own fucking hat on fire. I mean, this shit is funny.
Wires going across. Oh shit! Oh shit! Fire!
And it's the Pope hat too. That's hilarious.
But if words control reality and they're beyond nature and they are the fruition of what mind represents, isn't that Platonic? So that aspect seems Platonic, right? Because they're beyond, words are beyond nature, at least what they think. You see what I'm saying?
This is the battle he had with the sophists, right? Sophists said that logos is words, right? And Plato was like, no, logos is like beyond reality. It's like mathematical like shapes. So he's like, fuck that.
Well, yeah.
So I think it's a battle between the sophists. Plato is like a battle between whether you could change, like it's almost like what Gorgias is saying, is like, look, like logos is attached to our perception of things that's always changing, right? So he's saying the logos is not in the things themselves, right? So so he's kind of like, challenging Plato in some ways, right? And we are going to get to that, later, right? Because he is a pre-Socratic thinker. And some of the sophists are pre-Socratics, right? And they believe that language and grammar and rhetoric was more important than logic, right? So they said that people should focus on the art of politics, right? Instead of focusing on philosophical pursuits, right? Like metaphysics, they thought that was useless, right? And they wrote great tomes arguing why that should be the case, right? So obviously Plato was really influenced by these guys, and that's why he wrote so much about the state and politics, right? As sort of a response to these guys, right? He said these ethereal notions have a lot more to do with how the state is governed than we think, right? So Plato constructed the city in speech, right? The ideal city, right? So it's interesting, right? And so anyways, so yeah, let me go back to that a little bit. Let me read that again. Read part of that again, right? He said, the end point of the dialectical process is mind coming to know itself as the ultimate reality, right? A state of absolute freedom when mind, instead of being controlled by external forces, is able to order the world in a rational way, right? And implement its own principle of rationality, onto the world to organize the world rationally, right? And he says, now the interesting thing about this culminating process is that because it occurs once mind understands that it's the ultimate reality of everything. If you ask, when does this actually happen? Happens when Hegel's own mind in his philosophical writings and thoughts grasps the idea that mind is everything, right? So this crazy process, right, is also described in his fragment preserved by Rosenkranz's biographer. He says, every individual is a blind link in the chain of absolute necessity, along which the world develops. Every individual can raise himself to domination over a great length to this chain only if he realizes the goal of this great necessity, and by virtue of this knowledge learns to speak the magic words which evoke its shape. The magic words that evoke his shape in Hegel, right? Okay, let me read that part again, right? He says, every individual can raise himself to domination over the great length of this chain only if he realizes the goal of this great necessity, and by virtue of this knowledge learns to speak the magic words which evoke its shape. So let me sort of summarize what he's saying here, right? He's saying that if you learn magical words, you could rise beyond the link, beyond being a link in the great chain of necessity, which is nature. Right? So he's saying you can manipulate and control nature with the use of words. Right? Nature
Would that
is,
not be technique?
yeah, I mean, to quote Ellul, magic is primitive technique, right? So, I mean,
Upanishads talk about the same thing. It talks about the power of words. And it's
yeah, go ahead, Buddha.
well, that's what I wanted to say. The Upanishads have similar views.
Yeah, the words came from the god, right? It says, the god became happy and started dancing, and the language, letters like flew off of him.
Yeah.
Right? So man absorbed language through the divine inspiration, right? Man became divinely inspired with speech, right? So yeah, there's proof of this, and actually, this is there in Genesis, right? That God taught Adam the names of everything. Right, it's still there, right? Actually, Methuselah, right, which is the son of Enoch, he still had the books, right? It's right there in Genesis, right? He still had the books that told him about all of the forces of nature and everything. They had all the knowledge, right? God taught them the names of everything, right? So it's actually fascinating, right? To think of this idea of speech, right, being divinely inspired, right? So he goes on to say the knowledge of how to simultaneously absorb and elevate oneself beyond the total energy of suffering and antithesis. Now he's using his own terminology. That has dominated the world in all forms of its development. Damn. He said suffering and antithesis has dominated all the world's development. Well, I guess it comes out here, right? It's a shallow, dark web, right? Of murder and intrigue, right? For thousands of years, this knowledge can be gathered from philosophy alone. What a statement. What a crazy fucking statement, man. Honestly. You guys know about it? Weird, man. He's tripped out, man.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the volume. Can you know about what? Can you repeat quickly?
Oh, did you guys not hear me there?
No, okay. The volume for you is kind of low, so I have to keep adjusting the volume.
Yeah, it seems to get low again.
Yeah, that's weird, man. But let me try to see if I could fix this. Yeah, now I have it turned up all the way, so I'm not sure what is happening here. Can you guys hear me?
That's a lot better.
Yeah, it's better now. It's better.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I may have to change the cord or something like that. But yeah, that is the main sense. I think I might end there if I'm having too many audio troubles. Let me go back and hear my video and see what's going on here. Maybe it just might be you guys.
It could be an issue with us hearing in the the StreamYard.
Along with the world develops, every Yeah, it does sound kind of low, but
People in chat are saying it's fine.
it sounds okay. It sounds okay. Yeah, it sounds all right. Yeah, I mean it's not too bad, right? But yeah, yeah, blessings. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, man. Yeah, good. Yeah, yeah. We'll try to smooth that out. Audio issues. Yeah, let me drop the link again if anybody wants to come up. It's been a very quiet evening. I've been talking for like an hour and a half here, pretty much.
Well, maybe I can ask some questions about Plato, Aristotle. So, is the I'll have to read too. Is the individual soul, like connected to, and for Plato, is it connected to the forms? So, like the true nature of the soul, is it connected to the forms or the spirit? Like, can it be transmuted into a realm of forms? Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Does Plato ever talk about anything like that?
Yeah. Let me actually come up on that. If I could locate this book here, let me come up on something from the Timaeus. Because that would be where some of this would be located. You mean? Yeah, so right here in the beginning, right? So let me just read willy-nilly, right? Okay, from this, he says, what is that which always is and has no becoming, and what is that which becomes but never is? So let me read that again. He says, what is that which always is and has no becoming? And what is that which becomes but never is? Question. He says, the former is grasped by understanding, which involves a reasoned account. It is unchanging. The latter is grasped by opinion, which involves unreasoning sense perception. So the soul is this rational part of man. Right? It deals with eternal things. Those things that are unchanging, right?
You ever seen that? Oh, I hear myself feeding back. Oh my goodness. Somebody else.
What is this happening now? Is this happening now?
Daniel versus Andrew Wilson.
Daniel who?
I don't know. Let me see. Is that a modern gay debate?
Oh yeah, I saw Jim Bob and the Crucible hanging out. I wouldn't be surprised. Is that why they're doing it?
Well, are you talking about down the road? This doesn't seem to be live, sir. Yeah, let me know if this happened or not in the chat, and I'll react to it.
Since for Aristotle, the forms are imminent.
You for a different time.
Right. Since for Aristotle, the forms are imminent and all of the processes. So that, in a sense, means that his holomorphism that kind of did lead to Hegel, and it leads to all Desjardins, like I'm saying. Aristotle is yeah.
Yeah, because perfectibility is within nature, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Like 5 minutes ago, you were reading something about nature and I don't know who you're reading for. Is that Desjardins? Audio's terrible. I hear the issue on the back end, but it's not. It does not sound like that over there.
Yeah, it's all good.
But TMO,
yeah, I'm
you-
not. Yeah,
you had
yeah,
read.
go ahead.
Oh, you can't hear me.
Yeah, I can
I was
hear you.
asking a question like you were reading. You were reading earlier from what? Like 5 minutes ago.
Hegel
5
and the
minutes,
Hermeticum, right?
Have you?
5 minutes ago, I was reading the Timaeus. You know, right when you came in, you're talking about.
It was like 3 or 4 minutes before I came in. I heard something. I wanted to comment. I made a comment in the chat about the English being the etymology comes from the angels, the Anglo-Saxons, like the angels.
Yeah. English has a lot of magical stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, I talked to a guy who wrote a book on it today. His book is under the name Sidney Prince. It's over at the American Zombie Channel. But yeah, he was saying that a lot of magical stuff is going on in the English language. So it might be some sort of conjuring going on there, right? So it looks like they did have this debate. So let's watch like 2 minutes of this.
Before doing that, can I ask one more question? Can you talk about how potentially, well, this is a big question, but Kant's intuition relates to like potentially to like Platonic forms, potentially maybe, because I know Schopenhauer connected intuition to Platonic forms.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think Kant says that space and time are intuitive frameworks. And he also says that ethical categories are like universal, so they're beyond reason. Right? He also concludes that pure reason doesn't exist, right? So because of empiricism, right? So he's kind of a mix, right? He's kind of a mix between Aristotle. I think he would be somebody who would be trying to synthesize the two, right? And the same with maybe Plotinus. But I think for Plotinus, it's like Plato comes out on top, right? I mean, but yeah. So 20 Faces, man. I don't know who the fuck you are, man. But I'll play your little game.
Bum, bum, bum.
Only for like 5 minutes though. It'll be a good ending to this show, right? So let's see what happens. We got Hakika Jew. Interesting name. He's supposedly Iranian. And we got Android Wilson.
Oh, no wonder why he didn't say his last name. He probably know how to type it.
On modern gay debate. Oh, wait, you guys can't see it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, and I'll fix this audio shit later, man. But this is it for like today's show or whatever. Get the transcript.
Who want to transform the human race. Wake up, Andrew, wake up. Stop this stupid argument. 30 more minutes of Andrew saying that Muslims are dumb. Okay, that's great. I'll try to be more substantial.
What the fuck is this? Are these bloopers? Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Whoa, I've never seen such bad acting from these guys. It's crazy.
Oh my god, dude! Like, whoever's doing the highlights needs to pick more like compelling moments. Like, all right, let's go past this guy's. I don't know, man. Oh my god, did that dude just eat that other dude? What the hell? That was so weird, man. Right. Oh no, wait, there he is. He's still alive, folks. So, all right, All right, let's go to the opening statement by this guy. He's like, I don't know, man. This guy's got questionable views on Islam for sure. But yeah, let's give him a chance. I don't know. Let's give Wilson a chance. Let's give this guy a chance to woo us.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Just a quick note. I want this to be a civil debate because right now there's a massive Zionist campaign to generate as much hostility between Muslims and Christians as possible. If I can say something nice about Andrew, I respect him for not being a shill for Israel. I think we can be civil, but also very critical of each other's religion.
And how would you know that?
Already we're failing.
Yeah, he's towed the America First line in which he's not going to defend the Palestinians. He's not going to go against Israel too much. Then he went and cucked with apostate prophet and all these people and apologized to them. And then he said, oh, stop Jew-spurging to everybody. So how is he not following the Zionist protocols of the elders of the fucking Zion, bro? Like, come on, bro. How do you know he's not paid to shut his mouth about what's happening? You know, how the fuck would you know that? He appears on Piers Morgan, the total Zionist cuck show. So what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, he's not a I applaud Andrew for not being a Zionist shill. Like, what are you even talking about, man? How would you even know that? Do you know who butters his fucking bread? Like, what are you talking about? See, these guys don't know shit. They just talk out of their ass.
Kosher
without
butter.
it turning vicious.
Right, kosher butter on Andrew's biscuits there.
Nice about Andrew. I respect him for not being a shill for Israel. I think we can be civil, but also very critical of each other's religions without it turning vicious. The only ones who benefit from a Muslim-Christian civil war right now is Israel, which is stoking hate so that they can continue.
What? Like, and the Freemasons and all the other people, like, I don't know, like the technologists, like what about the atheists? Like, the atheists would be happy if Muslims and Christians killed each other. Like, what are you talking about? So many people would be happy.
But it's kind of true that Israel is.
Not if they have nukes, then we're all fucked.
It's kind of true that Israel is their whole, the Judeo-Christian tradition, they say. And they're trying to make the Christians hate the Muslims more, and they are promoting Muslims to, scapegoat Christians and target them more. So
blame Whitey and also like the whole program with it's either blame Whitey for the Muslims, right? So they give them that. Right, and then for the white people, they say, well, you guys should support Israel because all the Muslims are going to come in and throw all your women in bags, giant garbage bags, and just like take them. Right? So they're like, if you want liberalism to persevere in the West, so all the conservatives become liberal cucks when they're railing against Islam, right? And then all the Muslims become liberal cucks when they're blaming colonialism. So it's just a fucking retard fest, right? There's no solution on either side. It's just to move everybody left of center, and shut the fuck up. That's all we get. Fuck the system, man. Like, these people defend it.
To their genocide of both Muslim and Christian Palestinians while they bleed America dry. Let's keep that larger context in mind. So the first slide, which is best for society, Islam or Christianity? Next slide. The answer depends.
What a corny ass slideshow. What the fuck is this? What the fuck?
It's like three.
The name is apt. It's Debate Con.
Debate Con, yeah, exactly. We're conning people into debating. Like, it's
We're
all in the
con
name.
artist debate.
Right. We're conning people with debate. We're conning people into debating. It's all in the name.
Should be grifter con.
Right. Grift Con. Islam, Christianity, Grift Con.
On which standard we use to judge traditional or secular liberal values. Traditional values include belief in God, prayer, marriage and gender roles, opposition to degeneracy, and commitment to nation and shared culture. Secular liberal values
Really? What nation are Christians and Muslims committed to? What a stupid. What? Right? Opposition to degeneracy, yes, but they certainly don't pray the same way. Christians think they can talk to God, and Muslims don't believe shit like that. God's not going to pick up your phone call. Yeah. Marriage, yeah, I guess. Except for Christians are not allowed to get divorced. They don't even follow that rule. Muslims are allowed to have 4 wives, and the wives are not allowed to divorce the husbands. So it's very different religions. Okay. Women have way less rights in Islam, I guess. I mean, I'm a Muslim. I'm saying this, right? But yeah, gender roles, family. I mean, I don't even believe in something like universal rights, anyways. But yeah, anyways, yeah, gender roles, families. I mean, it's different. Belief in God is different. They don't believe, in the same, I guess. I think they believe in the same God, but I don't think they believe in the same type of God. If you ask a Christian or a Muslim to explain what type of God they believe in, it wouldn't make any sense. But they both say they believe in one God. So by reason and just numerically speaking, they have some similarities, right? But, the type of God they believe in, right? The Trinity, right? And, the hypostatic union, right? Versus just one God that's like unexplainable, like, exalted, as they say.
Could you say incognizable, perhaps?
Yeah, like just exalted. I think that says a lot. Right? That means he's not coming and healing people. All right. Yeah.
Individual freedom, gender equality, sexual autonomy, scientific progress, and economic advancement. If we judge by traditional values, Islam beats Christianity hands down. If we judge by secular liberal values, Christianity comes out on top. The reason for this is that Christianity, since the Enlightenment, has been reformed and adopted liberal values while eroding traditional ones. This is because Christianity is more open to evolving.
Yeah, this is probably his strongest point. He's been saying this for a while. But again, did Islam not help create Enlightenment values? Right? We allowed Maimonides, we allowed Avicenna, right? We allowed cultural cohesion between Jews, Muslims, and Christians, right? So it could be said that we played a large part in the Western Enlightenment, right? Once you take a real historical look, right? Of course, we didn't espouse secular or liberal values, right? That was a creation of the Europeans, right? But I mean, the historical trajectory, right? You did invent some of their laws on religious tolerance, right? So yeah.
In a way that Islam isn't. My opponent, Andrew Wilson, claims to be a traditional Christian, but we'll see if he'll debate like a traditional Christian or like a blue-haired libtard.
He honestly already looks like the guy on the right more. I mean, honestly. Let's be honest. I mean, who is this guy? He's not the guy on the left. He's the guy on the right. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He looks way more like the guy on the right.
If he debates as a traditional Christian, he should defend Christianity. He should defend Christianity as understood before modern liberal reforms. For example, even though he's Orthodox, I doubt he'll
That's
defend
right, yeah, he's
Byzantine
Russian Orthodox, this guy.
norms,
Oh,
such
he
as
calls him out
theocratic
for the
monarchy,
Orthodoxy. This is
the
great.
monarch's authority to define church doctrine.
Right. I can't get caught up in this, folks. But yeah, let's
distractions.
Maybe, go fast forward through some of this so we can get to Andrew's part. Banning slavery, rejecting monarchy, no mandatory veiling, no execution for apostasy, blasphemy, no execution for sexual degeneracy, no obedience of wife to husband, no ban on homosexuality, no limit on number of genders. and he's saying those are post-Enlightenment Christian reforms. All right. So he's painting him as a liberal.
He like dyes hair green and shit.
Yeah, he's painting him as a liberal. He's saying he
Or
follows
blue, rather. I got my blue blocker option on. Never mind.
Yeah, it's true that that Andrew you know that he follows a reformed version of Christianity. Yeah, that is true. Right. Some of the people in the Orthodox Church espouse, liberal values and even worse. Right. So, Christianity gives women more rights than Islam. Damn. And that's a guy who says he doesn't believe in rights. How many times have they claimed they don't believe in rights? Just force. Hilarious, huh?
Yeah, Jim Bob especially.
That's hilarious. Oh, but Christianity gives women rights.
Blue-haired libtard today and use a pro-liberal strategy against Islam. Because, again, Christianity...
Right, that is a fact. They do use a pro-liberal strategy against Islam. All right, so...
and use a pro-liberal strategy against Islam.
Right, I know. And, yeah. So it's right. They're acting like the leftists are their opposition, right? But they use liberal values to sort of critique, the spread of Islam or whatever, right? Not that they should just allow Islam to spread or anything like that. Muslims should try to spread Islam. Christians should try to uphold their civilization, right? But I don't know.
Because, again, Christianity can't beat Islam on traditional values for the simple reason that Islam isn't amenable to reform the way Christianity is. So he'll likely attack Islam exactly like a blue-haired alphabet person would by calling Islam backwards on marriage, gender roles, and scientific and economic progress. But if Andrew attacks Islam using secular liberal values, he faces a dilemma. Because tomorrow he's debating an atheist on whether Christianity or secular liberalism is better for society. So any pro-liberal standard that Andrew uses to judge Islam today, tomorrow that same liberal standard can be used by his atheist opponent to judge Christianity. For example, if he says Christianity is better than Islam because it gives women more rights and promotes more scientific progress and health, the atheist can argue that secular liberalism does even more of those things. Andrew knows this, so against the atheist tomorrow, he'll likely revert back to a traditional Christian stance, highlighting issues like
All right, we got it, bud. Let's move to the.
Well, he does lay out the fact that Andrew Wilson will not uphold his point for more than one debate. He's not, because he doesn't believe it. He laid him out in that way.
Well, he actually said in the debate that we had, he said, "I've never used a Christian argument this whole debate. I've only used secular arguments." This was his literally his almost exact words. So
yep.
So he's not willing to defend Christianity all the time.
In fact, all humans, due to biology, inherently value things like belief in a creator, marriage, family, and community. So let's see whether Islam or Christianity is better at promoting these things in society using the abundance of directly correlated.
Okay, so the rest of it is just like Muslims posting their W's in terms of marital stuff, premarital sex. Muslims have lower possibility of what? Premarital sex. HIV. Okay, attitudes towards gender equality. So it's obvious that Western countries have more gender equality. What is this? Christians value gender equality more than Muslims, especially Catholics and Protestants. But he points out that Orthodox still value it way higher than Muslims. Okay, what else does he have here? Christians have highest sexual violence. What the fuck? All right, let's go to Andrew's part. Christianity wins overall because it blends. Wait, what? Best of both worlds, preserving morals while enabling modern achievements. Muslim response: is Western prosperity due to Christianity or secularism? How much of Western greatness comes from pre-Christian traditions like Greece and Rome? All right, man. So it said how it started, where it's gone, drag queen story hour, right? So moral, so he said secular liberal system eliminates duties to maximize individual freedom. 2 ways: moral progress, scientific progress. Moral progress. He shows the feminist thing. Okay. Come on, man. Let's just skip to the so here comes Andrew's part.
Man, how could you even keep up with this many points in one debate? That's insane.
Yeah, I gotta just skip because we don't have that much time, and I don't have all night for sure. So I'll just kind of skip around here. We're way over time for the show, so yeah, we're over 2 hours here. So
own it. What?
I've got the timer set for you, Andrew, on your first word.
Good job, man. The fun thing about debate is you get to actually get in the mind of your opponent. What? What happened? Oh. The fun thing about debate is you get to actually get in the mind of your opponent. You get to study and dissect the things that they say and believe. After watching Daniel for hours, a few things became obvious. The first, he's a far better Muslim apologist than I am a Christian apologist, that's for sure. But he's far weaker on politics than myself and the nature of the world. The second is that he's...
Bro, who cares about this gay shit? Like, just move on to your points. Like, who cares who's better? Like what? Like, by your opinion? Like,
an above average debater, but he ain't quite God tier. See... If I were Daniel and fighting from his worldview, I'd point out Christianity is fractured and weak, that Christianity is totally incapable of fighting back against the degeneracy of our time. Its impotence has led to social categories of degeneracy at levels nobody could have predicted, especially with the advent of the internet. I would point out Muslim societies don't work that way, that Muslims have feminism and degens under control, that everything in modern-day Christians in the West are fighting for against degeneracy, Islam has already achieved in their lands. That's what I would do if I were Daniel. When talking about which is better for society, Islam or Christianity, this becomes a powerful argument. But I'd go a step further if I were Daniel. I'd also say my opponent will argue like an atheist progressive, that Andrew Wilson, the guy who promotes anti-feminist and egalitarian doctrine, is going to sit up here and act like an egalitarian progressive and cry about Islam being mean to the women and cry about Islam not being very nice to the gays. Well, you were fucking wrong. Sadly for Daniel, while this tactic would normally be effective against a sewing circle Christian, I'm not part of that cast, sir. Now, let me get into my argument.
Oh my God. Fake bravado and untold amounts of just bravado, dude. Like, he's not made a single fucking point so far. He's literally just sat there, just blew smoke up his own fucking ass, and just said, "Well,
as usual,
I'm a great political debater, A, and secondly, I'm not a liberal." Bro, you have to prove that shit. Like, he just literally quoted you saying that Islam gives women less rights than Christianity. Like, that's what you said. So, right, so you don't believe those things now? Like, what?
Why Christianity makes better societies than Islam, and it's pretty simple. Islamic societies breed an inbred population. Next slide, please. Muslim inbreeding has been occurring at a high rate for about 1,400 years since the early Islamic period, encompassing most of the land still occupied by Islam today. It spread from the 8th to the 15th century, moved into Persia, North Africa, South Asia, where it remains and has created some of the dumbest fucking human beings on planet Earth. The most common type of inbreeding is first cousin marriage.
Yeah, the dumbest people on planet Earth that create nuclear weapons, while the hillbillies, like those hillbillies that bred Andrew Wilson, Irish and fucking Scottish mix, they fuck their own cousins too. They like got drunk and touched their own daughters. Insane amounts of incest. Right? So like they're all retarded in the Middle East. Yeah, they're like fighting a mortal conflict, war on terror with like retarded people and barely winning.
I don't trust any of these graphs. Like even from Andrew or from Daniel, I don't trust any of the graphs. You know, like the way you get stats is so
Of course,
different.
Michael
Like,
shows up.
yeah, like how do you know like the stats you get are representative of the population? It's very hard, you know, to do sampling and make sure your stats are representative. You know what I mean? So I don't think you can really say they're more inbred, or you can say more. Even the opposite applies, though. You cannot really say that they have more stable families. You know what I mean? It's very hard to tell. You know what I mean? Like with statistics and stuff like. And you ever heard the saying, statistics don't lie, but liars use statistics. You know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah, that's the saying. Yeah, you ever heard that saying? You know, that's it's very. And also, there's an issue with factorial design stuff. Like, I will say that I think Japan probably they like hide their incest. You know, like when I look at anime, you know, you won't believe how much anime have so much, sister and brother relationship, like so much, man. And we're told that they don't have much incest. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, in the West, I mean, Freud was in love with his own sister. There's a lot of these kings that are inbred. You know, like going back to Europe. So,
Didn't they have that kind of disease where, like, if you get a cut, it cannot stop bleeding or congeal? Like, I forgot.
Hemophilia.
Yeah, and Andrew wants to go back to the monarchy, which is inbred. Right, he wants to go back to the inbred monarchs, you know, that were ruling the Christian nations, right? Instead of the democratic stuff. So I mean, so I don't think his solutions are gonna solve all those problems either. But yeah, I mean, kids are cutting their own dicks off, dude.
Yeah.
And right, like, what are you gonna say? Like, oh, everybody in the Middle East is retarded because they're inbred? Oh yeah, but you're fighting a mortal conflict against them. Like, this sounds like literal nonsense. Like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, they're not showing his map. They're
not. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm just making the point that statistics, is not very easy to gather, and impartially. I mean, like it's like you have sampling bias and other stuff. So it's kind of like two 4chaners arguing with each other. That's the way I see it, basically. Two 4chaners arguing with each other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll watch this on our own. Oh, whoops. Uh-oh. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Oh, all right, there it is.
Truther Cop left.
Is our background gone? Yeah, I noticed Truther Cop's gone too, so maybe it kicked him.
The OG background's on.
Yeah, okay, so let me put this one on for now.
Now it's the second one.
And let me revert to another thing. So very interesting stuff there, but unfortunately we don't have too much more time. I will go and watch that. I didn't know that happened. Shout out to the person who left that here, or whatever. They said go review that. We don't have time to keep reviewing videos, right? I'm way over the time, as I said. So I wanted to do that little bit for the guy that was here. We'll figure it out next time. Daniel had the honesty to bite the bullets, but Andrew couldn't even bite the IQ race bullet. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. The entirety of Andrew's argument was based on IQ outcomes, and Daniel stomped that premise out all day. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they're not graduating people, right? Like in their universities, right? So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, like more women are graduating than men. Like this is in white people's schools. So yeah. So I mean, it's kind of bad in the long run, right? It's bad optics. Yeah, they have lower IQ, but your women are smarter than your men. It's like it's kind of fucked up. All right, so yeah, man. There's a lot of things to discuss. But yeah, man. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, I would say they're lower IQ, like in parts of the Middle East and stuff. Like, there's like villages and stuff. They don't have schools. Like people are just illiterate. So obviously they're gonna have lower IQ, man. What are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah,
what a stupid statement.
Wasn't that the case for most of history? Most
Right.
of the masses were illiterate. Yeah, everywhere.
Right. But I mean, there's some very low IQ people here getting
Yeah.
addicted to drugs, and the women
Yeah.
are graduating more than the
I
men.
want to talk about IQ a bit before you end this. Not that long, but
Yeah, sure.
This matter a lot, and you can look it up. Factorial design. And the thing is, it's very difficult to control the factors, make sure there are no confounding
Yeah,
variables.
let's try to be like least racist as possible as we say this. But
Yeah,
just
I'm not being racist here, but
just for the censorship.
like breastfeeding has direct correlation to IQ, and you have what is called a critical period where the brain is most plastic, and it's around adolescence. And if you introduce the kid to, I don't know, like so-called rational stuff around the critical period, then their brain will be conditioned and more plastic for so-called higher learning when they grow up. So like you can't really control for those factors. Like also being exposed to industrial toxins and other stuff like that can lower IQ. So and urbanization probably correlates with higher IQ. But the biggest question is, why do we value IQ over other higher ideals? You know what I mean? Like moral intuition, like you said. I think moral intuition is more important than IQ. You know what I mean? Like IQ is just like how well you're good at computation. I mean, a computer can like do computation better than you. You see what I mean? And this is stuff people never talk about. Like, why are we even valuing IQ in the first place? Because in a more deeper level, maybe high IQ is a bad thing. Because I know people who have high IQ and they're maladaptive. It just means you compute things faster. You know what I mean? More efficiently or something. More efficiently, more faster. But what I'm trying to say is like there's so many factors involved, and they're lying with you with the maps, with the IQ maps. I don't really trust any map they give, and they say, look, these countries have more violence, or these countries have more stable social family, or they're happier. Happiness index. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful with like I said, I put it in the private chat. Statistics don't lie, but liars use statistics. Means that while raw data and statistical calculations are factual, they can be manipulated or presented in a misleading way to support a false narrative. And during my neurobiology lab, they were actually fudging statistics. You believe that? They were talking about, like, whispering to each other. Like, that happens a lot. And, like, when you have a grant and you have to, like, fucking get your research out there, sometimes they do fudge with statistics. And a lot of research, especially in molecular biology or neurobiology, they do fudge the statistics. Even in the cellular biology and molecular biology, they fudge with statistics. That's how I knew 2019 was probably a hoax, because they're using false positives in a kind of way and misrepresenting it, like to exaggerate and, induce panic in the population, what I mean? But, most people, they don't even know what factorial design means. Factorial design, you just Google it, factorial design, and you realize a lot of science is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like a lot of science is bullshit. Like how the hell can I tell? Just go. Like, let me tell you this. They base the average IQ in Iran based on like going Valentinian's 1959 study, where they went to poor rural areas and they administered IQ tests. Okay, and then they claim, oh, this is the average IQ of the country. How is a poor rural area representative of the population? It's like me going to rural Arkansas, to a rundown area, and giving a test to poor people or methods or something, and that's unfortunate what happened to them. But and then I say, oh, this is the average IQ of America. It's like 84. So that's disingenuous. You see what I mean? You know, I think if you study it deeply, maybe a lot of these institutions that administer the IQ test or they administer other tests like happiness index or other crap like that, they're all connected with the big league people. And it's just social engineering, you know what I mean? The real science is much more complex and nuanced, you know what I mean? Most people don't go that deep, you know what I mean? You need to have strong background to do that stuff. Like when I was learning about factorial design, I remember learning about ANOVA. ANOVA is what it's called. That's the statistical method. ANOVA, you know what I mean? Yeah, most of neuroscience is bullshit too, to be honest with you. There's something wrong with it too. I was able to predict John O'Keefe would win the Nobel Prize for his research in theta phase precision and other stuff. But even then, it's not that great, his research. I mean, it's good for compared to relatively to other stuff. But what I'm trying to get at is that, you know, like, you know, yeah. Yeah, you know, he's saying high IQ can correlate with atheism. I don't think
Yeah.
necessarily. No, I don't think that's correct. No, I don't. You know, because you know, it's more complex than that. I'm telling you that. You know, when I cut something, when I try to look at how the interrelated factors of thing, and I ignore the plasticity involved in it. You know, what I mean, I can like cut it up in certain ways, and you know, it's like looking at a picture of of something partially and then having a flawed conception of it. You see what I'm trying to say? And then I can say, then I can push a narrative based on that. Does that make sense? You know, and you know, having high IQ or low IQ doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can have high IQ and still believe in God. You can have high IQ and not believe in God. It doesn't necessarily correlate with being atheist, I think so. Like, I know there are studies that argue and stuff, but you know, like I'm trying to claim, you know what I mean? Like there are other factors involved. You know, it's called confounding factor, confounder. Just look up what confounder means. You know, it's good to look this stuff up. You know, you gotta know what this stuff means to argue with people. If you ever get into a debate, confounder. I mean, that's you look it up. Anyway, I don't like that kind of, you know, from both Daniel and you know, from Andrew, you know, they just share fucking meme diagrams, and you know, you have to give the methodology of how they even got the fucking stats in the first place. I want to see the fucking methodology. You don't just share a fucking map and say, oh, this is the IQ average, or this is the you know, the family, the amount of divorce they all have, blah blah blah. Like, how do you even like get the methodology, like the divorce or whatever, for both of them? That's retarded. The maps and crap. But, you know, you gotta be careful with statistics. Is all I'm saying. You know, maybe anecdotal experience, I think, is not bad. You know, it's not, I mean, it doesn't work in arguments, but at the same time, you gotta be careful with statistics. That's all I'm saying. I mean, like the nature of causality is way more complex than people think. I mean, like it's like I don't know. Yeah. Let me think here. Like, it's hard. You know, like let me tell you this. Like, let's say some guy was doing football, okay, and he like you know, a lot of football players have tall protein deposits, you know, because the armor they wear messes up their brain. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to wear all that freaking armor, from what I read. But let's say there was a football player and he was working out, he was remodeling a house, okay, and he got into contact with asbestos or something like that, and then that messed up his brain or something like that. But then people do autopsy and they say, oh, it was the football that messed up his brain, but they didn't know it could have been the asbestos. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, the nature of causality is hard. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think race has much to do with so-called growth of intelligence. You know what I mean? I think it has more to do with breastfeeding. You know, breastfeeding has direct correlation with IQ. Then the critical period is very important. What you're introduced to in the critical period. That's why schooling is bullshit and apprenticeship is better. You just want, you know, the kid when their brain is most plastic. You know, for some it's like 8 to 11. For others it's like 11 to 15. You know, generally it ends around 20. You want around that time, before 20, like to drill them as hard with everything as possible they'll need for the future. See what I mean? But the thing is, you know, we have like college. College is bullshit. You know what I mean? What is college? You know, you cannot really learn as easily after 20. You know, your brain gets less plastic. I mean, like, I don't know, plasticity is the thing. You know, maybe these people don't even know what plasticity means, probably. You know, it's a very complex thing. You know, the hippocampal dynamics and, you know, you think about that more. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I went off on a tangent about the IQ stuff. People don't even know. High IQ, blah blah. Let me tell you this: if you're truly smart, you gotta also know limitations. Like, I don't know this. You gotta be humble. You say, I don't know this. I don't know that. Like, what does
Yeah, I
it mean
totally
to know?
agree.
Yeah, what does it mean to know neuroscience? It means to say that the field is in its infancy, basically, or at least from what we see. Maybe the DARPA has way more advanced stuff. So that's definitely possible. Yeah, like that's different. And another deeper level question is, why should we attribute value to it? You never see them talk about it. Okay, yeah. Like, it's probably negative value. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, these people are dumb. They don't go that deep. When it comes to debates, I honestly debate better over text, to be honest. Like, I don't even know why people talk when they want to debate, like speak and stuff. Prefer text for debates, than personally. It gets straighter and faster to the point. Yeah. Anything.
Yeah, I'd like to point this out. This is in. Actually, you know what? Let me just drop it like it's hot. Yeah, let's actually move forward. Yeah, I critique the Muslim debater a lot. Certain people are not capable of critiquing their own way of life. They're just like hyper focused on critiquing other people's way of life, and they think that people co-sign all the behaviors that go along with that way of life. Well, that's assuming a little too much. I think you might want to check that people have more nuanced views of things, right? They've looked at science, they've looked at modern views, they've challenged modern views, they've even challenged traditional views, right? So before you assume things, right? Maybe be a little bit more prepared to defend your own way of life, right? So maybe you should be ready to co-sign all the behaviors that go along with your way of life, then. Right, all the things that all the liberals and modern seculars have committed in the name of, truth and justice. Right, maybe you should co-sign all those behaviors, including kids cutting their own dicks off. Right, maybe you should co-sign all of that. Right, are you ready to defend and co-sign all of the behaviors that go along with it? It's just a stupid. Like, get to know what somebody's actual views are, and stop being a retard. And stop being a blithering idiot.
So let me say this, there are two things when it comes to a topic: breadth and depth. The breadth means like,
right,
how much different interrelated stuff that's connected to a topic, like laterally, and depth is like how deep you've gone into that subject. And most people lack the honesty to like verify, the honesty to like evaluate how much breadth and depth they have in a certain field of knowledge, a domain of knowledge. I hate to say it, but unless you have like a kind of scientific background, I don't know why you feel like you're in the position you could talk about, like biostatistics or other stuff. Like, I had to take biostatistics, neurostatistics. The statistics is a really bullshitty field, to be honest with you. It's like, actually, TMI, I don't want to tell you what to do, but one thing I do recommend you do is read a book on like statistics, like on a general overview of it, because that's a very good thing to know for debates. If you ever plan to go head to head with people like Andrew, it's good to know the limitations of statistics. All statistical methods have a certain set of assumptions. They all have set of assumptions and limitations. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? And that's why a lot of cellular and molecular biology is bullshit. The 2019 was really exaggerated. You don't even need to believe in conspiracy to know it was exaggerated. I just knew right from the start. Maybe it was due to my expertise and the subject material.
Yeah, let me drop the link for anybody else who wants to come up. I only have like 5 minutes for the people, so. Well, I'm sorry, Moon10. It's way over time, right? Way over time. This guy's gonna bang on about Islam or whatever. That's his fucking thing, dude. All right, the show's not really about that. All right, so I did a whole show about Hegel and stuff. This guy said that his rights came from John Locke, and then couldn't even quote, the passage from Locke. He believes in things that he can't substantiate. We've seen it, right? We've Mike. We've tested him.
Oh, right.
We've weighed him. We've weighed his knowledge several times. He came up
balance.
Yeah, he came up short.
You found him wanting.
Yeah, he's a critic of other people's beliefs. He could stand on another man's shoulders and call himself tall for the rest of his life. He's obsessed with Muhammad, some guy who died a very long time ago.
Yeah, is I don't know, like, why he does that. Am I echoing?
Yeah, I'm not critiquing Hadrian, right, for slaughtering a bunch of Jays and loving his ladyboy, right? It's right. I'm not taking sides with history, right? It's like everyone, it's like, there's figures in history. I mean, yeah, they killed a lot of people. They took a lot of, like women. Like Genghis Khan raped a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Right. He killed a lot of Muslims. Right.
Yeah.
Like he piled up a skull of Muslim skulls. Like piled up a pyramid of Muslim skulls. Are you defending? Are you defending the graping of Genghis Khan? I mean, he got rid of a lot of Muslims.
Yeah.
So Michael, maybe you should defend the graping of Genghis Khan. I mean, it's just stupid. It's like retarded. Your brain is broken. Your brain is fucking broken. Your brain is retarded.
Did Genghis Khan mess up the area around Pakistan too? Correct? Like, he messed up everywhere. Like, damn, Genghis Khan was. Tamerlane also. Tamerlane was a crazy. I don't know. Tamerlane was some crazy ass shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh damn, man, like the population of Iran didn't reach pre-Mongol levels until 1900s. Do you believe that? That's like fucking crazy. Okay. That's why the region is a mess, thanks to the Mongols, really. Yeah, they really fucked it up. It wasn't the Arabs, really. It was the Mongols that really. like.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
I have to go use the bathroom. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I got like 5 minutes left.
Okay. So, do you think it should be legal to marry your first cousin?
No, given the genetic defects and stuff. The modern medical data that suggests that it could cause defects. No, I don't think it should be allowed.
Right. So you don't think the creator would know this and tell his last prophet not to do it?
I think like from a standpoint of villages and stuff, we're engaged in the practices of eugenics. I think they successfully pull that off for years, right? Even in Western societies, right? There's a lot of incest, right? So going back to the 1800s, right? It's a modern society that you're talking about, right? A lot of the British royalty, they married into their own family.
Right.
It's proven.
Hemophilia.
It's proven. That this practice was gone out throughout history, right? So when the Quran is providing legal restraints on things, it's not recommending those things, right? So it's not saying that you should make this a widespread practice, right? It's saying what should be allowed and what should not be allowed, right? Okay. And also said that you shouldn't commit incest and all these things, right? Things that were done in Western society for centuries. So, arguably you can make the case, so you're pointing out a lot of things, right? But yeah, I gotta go, anyways, but.
Okay.
Wait, you can go and I still talking, right? Or like, or it's the whole show time show.
I'm sorry, Avian. What was that? You guys say that again?
But you can go, but I can still talk to him though, or
Yeah, you could talk to me. Yeah, you could talk to him, but I got to shut down the entire show, so we
Yeah,
might have
that's
to do that
good.
next time.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go
But yeah, if you have a quick thing to say to him, of course, soon, right?
Uh,
I'm not going to cut you off.
okay, do I have anything quick to say? Why do you always want to talk about Islam here? Like,
We already asked him that. That's just his thing. He claims to be a Muslim troll or whatever. This is the answer he gave last time or whatever. So it's not a big deal.
you see yourself as a crusader or something?
Yeah, but
No,
crusader
I'm
for what? What's
I'm
what's
a-
his beliefs? What's your belief system? What do you believe in, Mike?
Oh, I believe in secularism. I believe in separation of religion and governance.
Right. So what do you think is important about that?
That you don't have religious law being foisted on people who aren't part of the religion. I mean, you can
Okay,
look at,
Mike,
like-
you have to understand something. Let me respond to that. Okay?
Sure.
Mike, look at anti-modernist thought. You know what I mean? Because look at like the way most ancient cultures existed. Their ethos was tied to their ethnos. Generally speaking, like it wasn't like there was separation or compartmentalization of, the freaking what the people believed and the way they lived. There was more like holistic. It was more integrated. Does that make sense? That's the way it was before modernity and industrialization spread. You see what I mean? You have to understand and read some books to get where TML is coming from. It's not like he's not like promoting any violence or anything like that. He's trying to make people think more deeply over their like biases that were born from post-industrial secular society. You see what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say?
By the way, you said that the God of Islam says promotes PDF, right? So can you prove that PDF is in the Quran?
No, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, the
So-
Hadith report that Muhammad married a
Yeah, but the
180
hadith. Yeah, but the hadith are not. Yeah, but the hadith are not from the God of Islam.
Not according to the Sunni. I mean, that's what Sunni means.
No. According to the hadith, they're traditions of the Prophet, so they're not from the God of Islam. They're not dictated by God.
Okay.
So why are you making a false claim about the God of Islam?
Well, I'm not making a false claim about the God of Islam.
Yeah, but you did. You said that's from the God of Islam that's promoting that.
Right.
So
Well, clearly, the God of Islam did not outlaw marriage to your first cousins, did not set a minimum age for marriage to children, or what?
how do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
It's not in the Quran.
Yeah, Mike.
So I've heard you. No, hold on. I've heard you say that everything that's not in the Quran is promoted by Islam, and I think that's a disingenuous position.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
say
you have. Yeah, you have said that on this show before. You have said that on this show
Okay.
before.
But
It's a
it's not
disingenuous
just
position. It's a disingenuous position, and we played your your clip with the Orthodox Muslim, and that's exactly what you claimed. You said the Quran doesn't forbid something, so it allows it. That is a claim you made last time.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. If it's
That's
not-
actually false. No, I know that's false. That's actually disingenuous. That's actually logically just not true.
Well, much like Joseph
that's
Estes.
that's like me saying that anything that's not mentioned in the legal courts is legal.
Well, no, not.
It's
by-
like the
not by law.
stupidest statement of ever. It's like if I murder somebody in a special way and it's not mentioned in a court case, then it's legal. Like it's like the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. But I got to really move on here, Mike. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for joining and blessings and have a nice day. Tomorrow we're doing another show, so come back tomorrow if you want. And everybody,
Okay. I'll do my best. Inshallah.
inshallah. Yeah, exactly.
We'll
So
talk
blessings
to
to
you
all the
later.
people.
It's
Yeah.
always fun. I'm sorry I got your ire up so much, but it's all good.
I'm fine. It's just the show is about Hegel, Mike. So the show, you watch it from the beginning. I talked about Hegel, Freemasonry, Hermeticism, right? So these are the topics we covered today. So I'd like it if we were on the same page here, right? But yeah, blessings. Yep.
Sorry, when I came on, I heard something about hemophilia and different things.
Yeah. You only hear what you want to hear. And right, see, this is the problem, right? But yeah, man.
Well, I only came on later. in the shows.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay. All right.
Is
Yeah,
Mike
let's
It's
on
just
have a
funny who
debate.
shows up when. Yeah.
Let's have a debate sometime, Tim.
Yeah, a little convenient, exactly.
Is Mike on the Discord or no?
What's that?
Are you on the Discord?
No, he's not on Discord.
I have been on Discord once, and the guy from
We really got to go, guys.
But
Yeah,
anyway.
blessings to all the people. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Discord, see if I get an email. Mike Mullen.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for joining, Mike. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Yeah, okay, Red, you got any closers and Avian, you guys got any closers? Let's for the people here.
Yeah, do not seek the treasure.
Nice. Avian, you got anything for him?
Yeah, I need to read more. Planning to read more. I have to read more. That's it.
All right, let me put this link up here. This is the Juiceable pilot. So we made a pilot show for the Juiceable, right? With TML. Okay, the Juiceable with TML and Zephyr of Voxel. Right, so I did a show with the Sandwich, Zephyr of Voxel, right? Whoops. Yeah, Zephyr of Voxel, yeah. So this is going to be a good show. You guys go and watch this. It's called The Juiceable. And, actually, you know what? Actually, you know what? Some of those, the leaders of your country here that are supposedly, they're involved in some PDF stuff. You might want to go check that out. Yeah, blessings. Your mama said, yeah, blessings, homie. I appreciate you. Yeah, but check out this show, The Juiceable, right? Very important that you guys check out this pilot episode of The Juiceable. We came through, entered this in a contest, right? And yeah, man, we oh shit, man, what is? All right, man. You know what? Can you guys see me? Okay, I can't see myself. Yeah, give me a second, guys.
You're bald. You notice that? You're bald. Yeah.
You make fun now.
Oh, I see. I don't think I will ever bald. That's that is fine.
You might be one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, let me put this visual effect on before we go down this road here. Let me see what's visual effect. Yeah, let's go with this one, right here. This is cool. All right. Yeah, blessings to all the people. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. So check out the Juiceable, right, with Zephyr of Voxel, right? Tomorrow we'll be back 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right? We went way over time today, right? But we got an extra show here, right? So there's extra content here on this link on the Cyber Caliphate channel, right? So Cyber Caliphate, something new, something old, right? Something,
Something borrowed, something blue.
Yeah, something traditional, something futuristic. Cyber Caliphate, combination of terms, right? Gothic futurism. Anyways, blessings to all the people. I appreciate you guys. Here it is. Marrying jinns. Oh man, I believe I was married to a jinn once. Definitely. So yeah, blessings to all the people. I appreciate you guys. Recommend everyone read about factorial design. This is from the homie right here. I appreciate you. And stuff about critical periods. So I think that'll serve as, Yeah, you got any closers, Avian?
Yeah, those were my closers. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man. Blessings, man. All right, guys. All right, guys. That's the show. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. So yeah, so we got a bunch of different people here. We got a secular humanist. We got me. A Muslim. Taoist. Interesting. We got Reddington. He's a very interesting dude, a critic of society. He's an agnostic. Right? We got Avian Buddha. He's a Buddhist. It's all in the name. All right, so we got a whole host of characters here. We'll have more people out here tomorrow, maybe. We'll get some people to join the panel. All right, yeah, we got some other stuff going on. We're doing the pre-Socratics, right? We may be looking at the Shangzu. We're looking at Mumford and Ellul. Right, of course. We're looking at Skolimowski. Right, obviously we're looking at Hegel and a bunch of these thinkers, right? We're looking at some of the philosophers like Descartes and Spinoza, okay, and their influence from Rosicrucianism and Freemasonry. Obviously, we found Marx heavily influenced by occult traditions, right, including those of Saint Simon, right? So yeah, we're looking at the pre-Kabbalistic ideas of Maimonides, the pre-Christian Jewish Gnosticism. Blessings to all the people. We got tons of topics for you guys, right? So yeah, if you don't like something, go to a different part of the video, go to a previous video. We chop it up different ways. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Peace.
I am on fire. I'm standing in water with live wire. I shouldn't be alive. I wasn't alive prior. My gun had live rounds. It hadn't died either. It's on a strict diet that's high in iron and fiber. I'm not love worthy. I'm fine in isolation. My murders and crimes are just fines and violations. I like being the brains behind the operation, but I'm bloodthirsty. I might die of dehydration, but I don't like charity. I'll recoup and recover. I live life vicariously through others. I'm living off the blood that I take from my true customers. If someone ain't pulling their weight, the group suffers. My gun's sensitive to the slightest of vibration. I gotta be patient and wait for the right occasion. I need enough strength to control my night cravings. I need a blood bank that can hold my life savings.
You have a good soul, and I hate to give in good people bad news. Don't worry about it. As soon as you step outside that door, you'll start feeling better. You'll remember you don't believe in any of this fake crap. You're in control of your own life.
I lived underneath of hell. I couldn't eat, couldn't leave the cell. I couldn't see, I learned to read from a speaking spell. It was everything I needed, I was treated well. Just another day at the office, I was Steve Carell. I couldn't sleep, I'd stand the entire task. A would-be king, the man in the iron mask. I was trapped, my capturer had the higher grasp. Till I snapped the bars and shattered the fiberglass. It was enemy territory, foreign sand. It wasn't heaven or hell, it was borderland. My birth parents must have had a more important plan. They left me on a porch, knocked on the door and ran. In the wrong hands, abandoned with calamity. I ain't have a chance or a family. I ain't have a plan B or sanity. I ain't have fantasies and canopies. Life is no guarantees or answer keys.
Thank you.
the immaculate deception. You got poverty, religion, racism, politics, and economics that keep the preoccupied mind spinning. Oblivion, evangelical righteous nation building by eugenic DNA, epic weapon sequence to the DOD operation Dark Winter. Unknowingly investing trillion in most subtle forms of murder. New American century, lunatic, neocon, lounge, poolside for Olive Marcini at the Plaza Bilderberger. Sitting next to nanotechnology, the Damon inside the nuclear winter. With reptiles and bikinis that don't walk on by, they slimmer. You better zip up the Dalai Lama North Face, put on an Elmo mittens. Pay close attention, there's no difference between Bush and Clinton. Check the arrogant cowboy Texas demeanor. White House was straight Stonewall, fuck a congressional subpoena. We will bitch smack the media. Lord Cheney, rule over Dark Warrior. With CIA orgs brought down the two towers. Who up on COG shadow government at Raven Rock, where the only legislative branch running is executive power.
Connection listeners, we're talking about continuity of government. We're talking about the shadow government, which is up and running in a bunker.
Our in-depth look at Washington's secret shadow government. Bush has activated for the first time long-standing plans to ensure survival of federal rule.
Continuity of government. The notion that we have a shadow government.
We're talking about the shadow government, which is up and running. We're talking about COG, as they call it in Washington.
We still don't know very much about who's in the shadow government and what they're doing. I think that the Bush administration is going to have to eventually give us a lot of information to clear the air here. And the notion that we have a shadow government, that there's some urgency about having a shadow government.
It's actually a shadow government operating right now.
Is finished, master. Is my music really on some apocalyptic, dark and gloomy shit? Or my part of some now freedom music? Your perception to this rhyme reflecting your influence. The most dangerous person in the world is someone who don't do shit. You think I'm fearless, confused, or just blind? Or to safely actually continue to perpetuate itself in the mind? A helpless victim of revolutionary soldier, you decide. Then ask yourself why am I so rebellious and out of hand? When a country would spend hundreds of billion to kill half a million to kill one man. Am I really the rebel against society for now world view of illusion? Knowing full well to put off world globalization, millions I have to die to subvert the authority of the Constitution. And how much of this silly, goofy, wacky conspiracy theory is really hype when all of the media world is controlled by select few programming status quo lies. Home of the freedom, ignorant, hypocritical, and buck wild. American politics is more confusing than the racist sin of the illegitimate black love child. I bet you want me to rhyme by alcohol and beverages, pimpin' girls. When I own the liquor, I'm talking about is Molotov cocktails. When in my country, people of color make up 62% of the incarceration rate, to form the largest prison population in the world. While you set claiming born again Christianity, murdering preemptively, showing up to rally the troops in a homo flight suit and a plastic stunt turkey. Believe you can't hurt me or do me none. I'm down with God, Allah, and I ain't afraid of no one. And this is world decrees, imperial letters of protection, warning you about privatization and depopulation and federalization and deregulation and globalization. Request this on your favorite radio station. Request this on your favorite radio station. Request this on your favorite radio station. And I bet you it won't get nary rotation.
Cannabis, throwing melanated, Molotov, cocktails, engineer, directly out of full sales. Nobody nastier. Ripping the jacker, ain't nobody nastier. Spitting and grabbing facts and data to enhance you. Suspense thriller, cannabis, the lyrical adjective killer.
My melatonin magic is enhanced by the melatonin tablets. Come take a walk with cannabis, Ardipithecus ramidus. What the fuck is melatonin magic, bitch? I still ain't understanding this shit. Okay, my brain is a microchip. My two balls with a cane is a macro dick. I rap so sick, I created swine flu out of an infinite mix. You try to diss, but you can't even spit. You just stand there and wish with your hand on your hips. Man, you a bitch. Who the fuck is you to criticize a lyrical king? You see, that's my problem. I spit 1,000 bars, y'all was silent. I ain't heard nothing about it. I had to give you 3 years to recognize. And then I realized, can't nobody even fuck with my rhymes. The internet is an early telepathic building set. My lyrics are international nuclear missile threats. The blogosphere is where you vent frustration and discontent. But children don't understand the concept of consequence. So yes, it's immature to express disrespect. But no, I would not accept what the media says. They are the reason we are being misled. There are forces above them to feed off our stress, suffering, and death. I am dead by design, cause nobody tells me what to rhyme. I make up my own fucking mind. There are more of us than them, but at the same time they are gods, and we are just mortal men. 13 levels above 33. Let me say it again. They are gods, we are just mortal men. I cannot imagine their power. They put a black family in the White House just so they could take away ours. You trying to plan a great escape, you a coward. They gon' march us in the gas chamber, make us think we taking a shower. Mamas and babies is crying. The children of Zion belong to Skynet. Nobody knows who's behind it. So if you don't care, fine then. I don't care either, but I ain't spineless like you. I'm a true believer in the metaphysical ether. You listening to the lyrical reaper, the spiritual teacher, empirical speaker. After this album, they gon' call me a leader, but I'm not. Illuminati just gon' murder me like Pac. Blood sacrifice or not, I don't even wanna be alive. If it's like that, then fuck Tiamat. You can laugh at my appearance, well fuck you for standing there staring. Fuck everything on this planet, including the evil spirits, notwithstanding the aliens acting like they don't hear us. There's no need to fear us, just come down and help us. I love James Brown more than I love Elvis, but that don't mean I'm selfish. Soft but hard on the outside like shellfish, crispy, crunchy, black, crawling out of hell's pit. You scream for hardcore, I felt it. But what you gon' do when they kill me on some Eminem and L shit? You won't do a motherfucking thing, cause let me tell you why. You a coward and you don't know shit. Cause if my brothers stand next to me, the energy expands collectively. The world was never ready for me, and they ain't ready for their own freedom neither. They perish from the heat of the fire breathers, crawling out of their caves to eat them like thin crust pizza. Cthulhu creatures with rough features, jeepers creepers, good luck with Jesus. How many meters? Reload and squeeze it. I run up in the Vatican with demons just to get even. That's where the biggest demon is. It's no secret, but nobody else sees it, so they won't believe it. But that's when I calm back down. The key word is back down. I got possessed by my own raps. Wow, knock, knock, who's home? The black Dan Brown. I didn't mean what I said. Please don't kill me now. My ghostwriter's not around. Plus, it was just a freestyle. But at least I got better beats now. Meanwhile, motherfuckers still mad. I feel bad. I apologize, but you acting like a real fag. What the fuck I'm supposed to feel like? 12 years later, I still don't get acknowledged for the shit that I write. Well, I don't wanna talk to you now. It'd be a motherfucking miracle if you even see me walking around. They still ask me about second round, even now.
Cannabis, can you tell us what happened
Look
again?
at this fucking clown. Can't get over it. They ask me a loaded question and act like I'm the one that's promoted it. Hang up on them. You a cyborg unit with no soul to it. Stupid surrogate. 12 years later, I'm on some other shit. And so is the whole world. Look at the mother-shits. And so is the whole world. Look at the mother-shits.
After this album, they're gonna call me a leader, but I'm not. The Illuminati's gonna kill me just like they did Pac. Blood sacrifice or not. It's Professor Griffin, ex-minister, signing out.
Omni.
Sinful life, go to hell on an invite. My knife slice, red pinstripes across.
Omni.
Sinful life, go to hell on an invite. My knife slice, red pinstripes across windpipes. Fine line between fear and love, leaving thugs pierced by the slug. Your body cries tears of blood, stitching the limbs while I'm pulling on the L stems. Allah's glow burns your skin like hell's wind. Sin, iron pins flying through your eyelids. You'll be a blind motherfucker looking for revenge. Niggas too deaf to hear the sirens. We dressed in gear for rioting. Come test me, I'm firing. Leave your mug crack, you tough black. Bullets need blood, and you the only donor that match. Latch your gate for the guard snatching your plate with twin barrels staring at you like an infinite eight, reciting the vows of hate. Honor and respect this wild and reckless. I'm blessing you with your death wish.
Put static up another notch. Indeed, no doubt.
Open up the world, people. Let me get in. Yes, y'all.
And yo, Dexter Manley, pull sketch wet your family. Overstand the underhanded ways of my can't be. Sean Price the general, so generally speaking, I put 10 in your body, your friends be leaking. Never chill on the weekend, the sun don't chill. Gotta spray on the Saturday, cause I'm from the Ville. Got no time for petty lines, rapping your stupid shit. You can get a fist in your face for fucking with the pugilist. Sean ain't new to this, rapping the wild now. Happy drug dealer sell crack with a smile now. Karate chop krills, Johnny Knoxville. Get high from my own supply, that's not real. Your arms too short to box with the guard. Your weed whack, don't smoke pot with the guard. Listen, Sean Price is the prophet of prophets. The best nation is donation. Elijah Muhammad. What?
This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Shit is real, 4 bill, 4 mil, trying to civilize devilish man from Israel. That's my job as the father and God, overcoming obstacles with impossible odds. Paradise lost, caveman kidnapped the stars and trying to move us back to Mars. Blind of our actual cause, but even the closed eye can still see black as our law. I made the first laws on this worthless ball. If I ever left the earth, then the birds would fall. I'm the God, I'm moved by the will of Allah. I'm protected from the rain by a ceiling of straw. Reading pages telepathically, my watch operates with dead batteries to wake inside my own head. Baffles me. Kumar Ashtabar's masterpiece, black as my sheet. He who feeds not having to eat.
Rated X, smack you off the stage when I'm vexed. No sweat, I crack a cold keg of X. Guess who's back? The jack of all trade is next. The rap cuisine, I crack a raw egg and flex. I cave in your chest, this one came from the jets. Yeah, the cause and effect make innocent blood pour. The streets is like the rap game, a deadly tug of war. War, 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 war.
Rain, fire, and rock, let the heat pour. Niggas like rock, fuck you rhyming to the speed for. Listen, life is like a motherfucking seesaw. 1 minute you hot, the next your wrist rock, none of your biz. Fuck around and run in your crib. Wife like, he ain't here, don't summon your whiz. Niggas running up on me to the Trey Pound click. Talking about ruckless battle on some 8 Mile shit. I'm like, nigga, my name ain't B Rabbit, it's Sean Price, Big Ruckus, and busting these ratchets. Call me gay fashion with fucking up these faggots. That niggas ain't nothing, stop frontin', stay passive, yo. Pass the Dutch on the left hand side. Sean gone to November store, walk left, ride, 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 ride.
You have been warned.
Pull a 4-4 from out of the sea. Sword on shotgun, hand on the bomb. Hey yo, Brig, listen. They call me SEANPRI. CEPBI, been IDI, evil guy. I get the eagle I reach for. Foreclosure, don't hold my evil in mind. Stop it, you don't want to box with the guard. Arms too short, no support when I pop shit. Toxic, figure 4-leg lock shit. Unbocking that shit you used to ring out the mop with. Criminal man, who do you roll with? P, original man, student enrollment. I'm Stone Holmes, give me a moment to clarity. Charity starts at home, hold my salary. Get money. Hey, tell me. I'm an aristocrat, ghetto diplomat, and I'm blessed with the gift to rap. Pay. Fed of the things that Sean say, I'm trying to get ahead of the game like Sade. Pay, periods.
And it's a crime, but never exhaling it, no it's tailored. You couldn't be on my radar with rapper the Elliot. I'm well equipped, no water wit, it's raw form. You were marked the gas on, no relation to porn. Death flaps, try and run with Rem on the track, with Ren on your back. The hustle like Pookie with crack. I stay stoned, Medusa roll, a dramatic dose, but keep it matted close. That'll hit your chest like a Malatos.
Trey 8 in the Pell coat, kept it real and went wrong like David Chappelle jokes. P, black on black crime, sell crack, kill cats, and write mad rhymes. Disturber of Badlands, Stonehenge, well-known Roberto Duran fan. Sean be real strong, you frail, I can tell when you yell that Johnny Gill song, motherfucker. J Hard, cut that shit. SEANPRI, right, man, rhyme.
Rem on the track, with Ren on your back, the hustle like.
Shut the fuck up and record the shit, man. Fuck can't then beat the shit out of you, man. Let's go. Upper echelon, top rate, 10 minutes for up to sketch a song. Weapons drawn, shoot the shit out of do-gooder who keep their nose clean. We don't fuck with hood boogers. P masterpiece, theater. We got the best pull that's getting here. Jimmy crack corn, nigga, I don't care. The semi smack your dome, homes, I don't care. Minding my biz, my daughter, my nine in my way, strolling the park. Muggies catch a slug in their heart. Food for thought, y'all niggas chug a lug on his dart. For the slug, put the gun in your claws. P. Hank McCoy on the record, the beats. I shank your boy, leave you stretching the street. The best rapper in the game. Petty crime rhyme, smack a rapper for his chain.
Always live and direct. It's a rude awakening. Nobody say another banger exclusive. Come on, it's moving. Come on, it's moving. Always live and direct. It's a rude awakening. Nobody say another banger exclusive. Come on, it's moving. Come on, it's moving.
Yo, the second verse better than the first. That don't mean that the first verse is the worst. It just means that I'm better than everybody on the entire earth. Rude ape, your food ape, surf and turf. I smack rappers and shoot haters. Luca Brasi style, wild fish in the newspaper. I'm eating sushi in Moscow. Niggas wanting my autograph. I'm looking like knocked down. Big flick and I'm sorta yelling. Backstage they serve fried chicken and watermelon. Ready to Kimbo Jones, thinking these crackers fucked up like Jim Crow law. Racist crackers, running the gun store and have a race with ratchets. I grip the 4 squeeze, 2 in your face, bitch, Victor Ortiz.
Always live and direct. It's a rude awakening. Nobody say another banger exclusive. Come on, it's moving. Come on.
This, I don't give a fuck. I shoot a nigga down and cut a nigga up. New York made me this way, I'm all about a buck. My close friends was murdered, I bulletproof my truck. Shit New York taught me, it's no mercy. It's no letting it slide, I'm so thirsty. New York, nigga. It's Queens, New York, nigga. Listen, nigga, my face got the scars. My brain got the smarts. My chest got the heart. To fuck some up, what nigga, I make it hot. Police be on the block, cause P just shot some stupid fucker. Now you niggas can't pump. All mad at me. Should be mad at that nigga who's trying to crab me. You know I ain't the one. If you didn't, you know now. These niggas be slow till I blow the 4 pound. Put a little pep in they step. I got death for any nigga with an S on they chest. That's my reflexes. When you hear them shots, see if I gave it to a nigga, he deserved what he got. Look, my hammer got the cure for your amnesia. How conveniently we forget. P is Black Caesar. It's hell over in Queens. That swell up in my jeans. Don't mean I'm happy to see you. That mean I got the thing. Apple thing like this. I don't give a fuck. I shoot a nigga down and cut a nigga up. New York made me this way, I'm all about a buck. My close friends was murdered, I bulletproof my truck. Shit New York taught me, it's no mercy. It's no letting it slide, I'm so thirsty. Yeah, New York, nigga. It's Queens, New York, nigga. Look here, nigga, I fuck niggas up every damn day. Yeah, welcome to Bucktown, USA. Smack earth, wind, fire, and ice out your face. Take crack out your pocket and scream that raw bass. Knife game, gun game, nice with my hands. Fuck around and leave you right where you stand. Listen, punch a fan in the face and I lose the sale. Nah, I punch a fan and get sued in jail. Calm stocking, 20 sets of 10, arms locking. Pray 5 times a day, a law doctrine. You got a hot song, but your album is not popping. Fuck it, do your thing, Holmes. Money off of ringtones. Best MC that you know with no chain. Rather spit lines and sniff lines of cocaine. Yeah, I did a whole 1/8 in the sniff. You call it the problem, I call it the gift. Like this, I don't give a fuck. I shoot a nigga down and cut a nigga up. New York made me this way, I'm all about a buck. My close friends was murdered, I bulletproof my truck. Shit New York taught me, it's no mercy. It's no letting it slide, I'm so thirsty. New York, nigga.